Are we?
Hey, it says we're live. Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. Ba-ding.
Nation.
There you go. Welcome all the nation people. Where the heck are we at? We're in Galveston, Texas.
In a really scary room. It's weird.
It's the activity center, they call it. Or the clubhouse is what they call this room. We're
Do
at.
you see what's behind
Well, we're
us?
not supposed to talk about him yet. He's a special guest star that's going to come out later. He's a friend of ours. He came all the way from Sturgis. And he's going to have a little special today and tell you about an incident that he had last year. But we're not going to talk about that yet. We're going to say that for a little bit later. So he's going to stay back there patiently, motionless, until it's time for him to come on. So, hey, what's going on? We're in Galveston. We're here at the Lonestar State Rally. Hey, and then a mouthful. So we drove around today. Actually, if you watched the video this morning, we showed you that there was a few things going on. Some tents were going up and things like that. But today, it's all different. Over on, that's not the seawall. What's on that side?
It's called Harbor Side.
Yeah. On Harbor Side, where the boats come in and let people in and out. Didn't see no boats over there, though.
The cruise ships.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of vendors already over there. They're all set up. Actually, I think Paul's on here from the Ferry and Exchange. He's all set up. He was all closed up when we went by. We had to talk to your buddy next door.
Ben.
Yeah, he was there. And SNS Sinister Sound was there.
KST.
Yeah.
Handlebars was
well,
there.
KST wasn't there, so we couldn't talk to him.
And Sarah was there.
Yep. So there's a couple of big trucks are there. Chevy's going to have a big conglomerate thing there in the center of, it's about, I don't know, it's about 3 blocks long, maybe a little longer than that. There's a lot of, bunch of pinstripers there. There must be 2 or 3 over there in the lot. Not Dan, though. We have to find out where Dan's at. A lot of other people are going to be on the other side, which is called the seawall, which is where the main drag runs up and down and shows you the Gulf. So they're going to be setting up tomorrow, Wednesday. And then I'm assuming they'll start closing the streets down. We got some videos of that today, which I don't know, won't be out tonight. Maybe tomorrow I'll get it up. We're expecting rain. Supposed to come in tomorrow evening and probably most of the day Thursday, which is opening day of the event. It's supposed to rain. Then it's going to get a little cooler. Today hasn't been bad. Last 2 days we've been up in the 70s.
Been kind of warm.
Might hit 80 yesterday. Today probably didn't hit. But we're a little cooler down here because you got a constant breeze blowing off that Gulf.
Still humid.
Yeah, a little cloudy.
There's fall.
So we're actually at Jamaica Beach RV Resort is where we're camping at. We did find a place up the street. What's that place called? But here we had to pay almost $500 for a week. We got here Monday, stay until Monday. And we found a place down the street, which was only what, 250 bucks?
$275.
Taxes and all. And it's 7 miles closer. So we'll have to let you know because you don't remember what the name of the place is.
It's like Donata, Del.
They have about 10 spots ready for next year if you're interested in coming. But if you come on the 31st, that Monday, you got to pay the October rate, which is 25 bucks more. So if you just come in on Tuesday, we're doing Tuesday to Tuesday for the 275. I got to put half down now. So we went ahead and booked it for next year. We're expecting big things this week here.
Del Narita.
Yeah. How do you spell that?
DELLANERA.
Right on your piece of paper. Now you can show it to them.
I didn't bring all that stuff. I
Wow.
could have. You said bring paper.
Well, you had paper laying out, so I thought that's why you were bringing the paper, so people could see what, you know.
Well, can I type it in there?
Yeah,
can
you
put
could
it
put
in
it in here.
here.
Yeah, you could put it in the
All right,
comments.
I'll tell you what it is.
So you can look, if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. If you're on Facebook, you're not going to see it
Why?
because it doesn't go across Facebook unless you put it on there too. You put it on both of them.
Oh, all righty.
So, getting pretty exciting. We kind of walked down street and kind of looking around things, see what's going on. Got a haircut, nice and short, ready for the rally. And not too bad here. But it's going to get cool this weekend. They're talking Friday, probably Thursday and Friday. It's only going to be in the 60s. But then they said Saturday might hit 70, 71. So not too bad. Maybe not too far to go. For all those people that forgot their leathers, they'll probably be buying leathers here to get home. So we did, just FYI, we have decided to go ahead and go to Mexico, to Rocky Point. That is definitely going to happen after this. We'll leave here on Monday and we'll be down in Mexico, what, on Wednesday?
I don't know. I gotta look at my calendar. I don't know. Facebook, I can't, it won't let me on Facebook. I don't know what's going on.
She's
I'll have to get
locked
out and, I don't know. I must
She's
have
probably
locked
in
myself.
jail.
Didn't
Facebook
say
jail.
nothing.
So-
Rocky Point, the 21st. Okay. We will be down there on the 10th. So that is Wednesday.
So it starts on Thursday too, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, and then we'll be coming home on Monday back to America, come across the border again. Only gonna ride the bike. We actually found a campground down there. One of our subscribers, we definitely appreciate you,
Yes.
was gonna let us stay in Phoenix, leave our trailer and our truck. He was gonna put it in a gate for us, all secure and all that. But ended up with her when we went to Destin the other day to eat at the McGuire's. It was too long a ride for her.
Yeah.
She's not used to riding it, and that was only 50 miles one way and 50 miles, so she had a break. So here
Yeah.
we're still going to be riding probably, I think, about 80 miles, 90 miles probably on the bike, because once you get to the border, it's 70 miles over. So we're actually going to pay to put the RV in a campground that they said a lot of people come there and they do the exact same thing, but we wanted to leave the electric on so the refrigerator go back. Good. Didn't want to run out of propane. And
Yeah, because you never know.
we've heard all kinds of bad things can happen to your refrigerator if when the refrigerator dies. Little creepy guys come in, little squirmy guys come in.
Yeah.
And it's a big mess.
We'll pass on that.
So hopefully we'll have the backup as generator or backup natural propane if it
If the electric goes
if the
off.
electric goes out. But
Hey, Debbie.
hopefully it won't. So pretty exciting here. We'll start doing we're probably gonna do a meet and greet. I was gonna tell you to call her today. We're gonna try to set something up at the Zero tent on Saturday.
I can email her.
On Saturday. I don't think she don't come on our lives. So we'll call her and see, maybe set something up around 11
That's
o'clock.
on Harbor Side.
Yes, we've seen their tent. And so they're kind of down at the end, so I think it'd be easy for people to get in and out of there. There's that parking lot on the end there, which I'm imagining they're probably gonna let bikes park in there too. So it'll be easy to get in and get out. So I think that's gonna work pretty good. So we're gonna try to set up Zero at 11 a.m. on Saturday. We'll be there for a couple hours. We probably will do a live from there.
That's where we're gonna stay next year.
Yeah.
I put it in the comments. So if you're wondering to know where we're gonna be next year, it's
Yeah,
right
so we
there.
already booked that. It's half the price. Now the difference here is this place, which it
Got a
really
lot
doesn't.
of amenities.
Yes. Well, we're gonna do a video on it. Decided we do one. They got a lazy river here, a big one. They got a lazy river. They got a indoor spa that's like an Olympic sized pool. Well, it's not that big.
It's
pretty
big.
big.
It says it
It's an
holds 20
infinity.
people.
It's an infinity pool.
Yeah.
It's inside of a building, so it's kind of muggy in there. But I mean, we went in there last night. It was okay. And they got a heated pool,
Almost.
somewhat heated, that's enclosed. They have that. They have two pools outside. They have like a I don't know what they call those wading pools like that. The other one was they had to swim.
It's got like the Baja
Shelf
shelf in it. So it's like really shallow for the most of it, and then it gets like maybe 3 foot in the middle. But it's got like 3 or 4 different areas.
And there's a bar
It's
there.
called the Tiki Bar.
So I don't
That's
know
where
if-
that's at.
If during the summer they
Yeah,
have
right.
they do that. They also have movies here Friday and Saturday night. They have outdoor movies, so that's kind of neat. So they probably have a lot of good stuff here. But
For me,
right now
yes.
there isn't. They got everything's open. They got a food truck on property here that's here from Tuesday till Saturday night. I guess they'll leave on Sunday. And we haven't
But
tried the food yet.
they said this will be the last weekend they'll have it because it's getting too cold and people won't go up there and eat. But
And there's
If
not
you're hungry,
where we're at
you go.
here. There's not a whole lot around here.
no, not restaurants and stuff
There's
like
a couple
that.
of seafood places down the street. I don't know. We didn't stop at any of those. You have to get all the way back up to Galveston to really find the variety of restaurants, everything from Taco Bell to Chick-fil-A to Rainforest.
Now,
Somebody
some of those you
recommended us to
can't
go
even.
to the Rainforest, but we've done one of those when they were in Vegas. So I
Yeah.
don't think we'll stop there.
So Jeffrey said, be ready to be pulled over by the Mexican policia. He
Well,
already cleaned out the
Yeah,
motorcycle.
took my little Swiss Army knife out because you can't have any knives when you're
Hey,
going across the
Steve.
border either. So I'm not really worried, but I'm pretty sure that all the research I've done on Mexico, it's a 70-mile strip. It's straight shot down there. There's nothing too much in between there and there. So I'm figuring when we come through there on Wednesday, we're probably going to be coming through with a lot of other motorcycles that are going to be heading down.
And we'll be careful.
And we
We've,
have our passport, and we're going to make sure, I'm not taking a lot of equipment with us. We're only going to take a couple cameras. I may not even take the computer, but I may have to just for the fact I may have to download video.
Thanks,
But we're
Debbie.
only going to take 2 cameras with us, and because I think that'll be enough to get what we need to get and show you guys what's going on and tell you what's going on. So we probably won't edit till we get back. Now we're staying at her cousin's house. She says she's got some kind of internet. Maybe we can go live. You know, I don't know. We'll have to see.
She probably doesn't know the difference between up
and
speed
down.
and down.
But I mean, I
so.
just don't know. Being Mexico, I don't know if we can get Yard Stream or even YouTube will even. I'm assuming it'll open up down there, so I don't know why I couldn't go live. But we may not be able to use the StreamYard if there's a problem with that. We may have to just go straight to YouTube and do a live from there.
You know, the visible phone never did right back.
No.
I asked them because I know our phones are good internationally, like Mexico and Canada, but that's T-Mobile. But our visible phone, I wanted to know if it would, if we're going to get charged an exuberant amount, we're not going to take it. But if not, we will.
Yeah, so we probably won't be contacted down there because we're not giving anybody out our personal number. The number that a few of you got is the phone that's on here now, which is our visible phone. We need to do a commercial on that.
Yeah.
And tell that guy he needs to give us some. Oh, yes, we do get 25 bucks.
Kawamoto.
And we also got an internet service now that we're going to be recommending as soon as they get them back in stock. That's who we use for our AT&T hotspot. And it works. Actually, that's what's feeding us right now. We got like 36 up, 145 down. So, you know, it's crazy. And we have really good service with our AT&T hotspot, which now they're up to $149 a month. We originally got it was only $99, and then she had to raise the price. So she gave existing customers half price of that, of the new increase. So instead of going up 50 bucks, you only got to pay 25 bucks more. So, and I talked to the guy the other day, and when I was telling him, because they were going to go into Verizon and T-Mobile, 2 hotspots. And I'm like, don't waste your time with T-Mobile. It's not worth, you know.
It's worked for us a couple of times.
Yes, it has worked us in a pinch, and it's great as a backup because you got to have it all. You got to have if you're going to do what we do, you got to have AT&T, you have to have the T-Mobile, and you got to have Verizon. You got to have all 3 if you want to do what we do. And there's only been probably 2 places since we've been doing all this that we had no service at all. And right now, YouTube, I don't know what they've done on November 1st, but to upload videos now, it's like 5 minutes. I cannot believe how fast they are at uploading. The other day when I did it, the video yesterday, everything took less than 30 minutes because I wanted to hurry up and get it out to you guys, the one on New Orleans, I guess. Yeah. Or is that the one that came out this afternoon?
I don't know.
And no, the other one was yesterday was Galveston. Showing you the intro and showing you some of the stuff that was down there and showed you some of the people did appreciate the ferry ride coming across. And a couple people wondered about that.
Fun.
A couple people wondered about the ferry and not the guy with the wings in the back, the boat we rode across on. So if you watch the video from yesterday, you can see about the ferry. So what happened was some of our vendor friends actually told us, hey, don't go through Houston.
Well, no, it was Randall.
I had a couple vendors said it too.
Oh, well.
And so what happens is
because the playoffs are going, or the World Series.
Several things. The playoffs are going on tonight. I don't know how many people are going to get on here because the playoffs. I thought tonight was the off night, but last night was. But we don't want to do videos on Monday night because everybody's watching football. So we decided to do this tonight. And because if they win again, if Houston wins tonight, they're going to play again tomorrow night anyway. So we couldn't do another live. So we wanted to get a live out tonight and just kind of give you guys a heads up of what's going on down here in Galveston. So this is new to us too, if anybody hasn't been here.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you things. There's a lot of big hotels downtown Galveston, right? And everything. I can imagine those places are really expensive. Some of them don't look like they got a lot of parking. So a couple of the people, you really want to stay out on the seawall. That seems to be the main drag. There's a whole bunch of hotels out there. There's a Motel 6, Suites. There's a lot of independent ones. I don't know if we've seen a lot in or not. Remember any main brand hotels?
The one was Days Inn where that Randall was going to stay.
And
I don't think I've seen a Holiday Inn or anything like that.
Yeah, but Holiday Inn's got a bunch of, if you're a timeshare and got Holiday Inn, they got property all over the place down here. I've never seen 2 big giant resorts that Holiday Inn rewards, Holiday Inn, timeshare, whatever it is down here. A lot of houses to rent, a lot of houses. I see a lot of for rent signs. I have no idea what they're charging for these houses. You know, maybe we'll check while we're down here. We got a little time tomorrow because the vendors will be kind of coming in. Most of them probably aren't going to want to talk tomorrow, but maybe we might get a few. I don't know if Paul's going to be down at his booth tomorrow.
It's just lighter on the sides. We were talking about that before it started. It says you got a mohawk now. It's just dark. It's dark in the center,
Like
and then
I know. When I was sitting back a while ago, it looked like a mohawk. It's for the Atlanta Braves.
You got some Houston Astro
Well, we got
fans.
fans for everybody. We're not for anybody. You know,
Go
it's
Braves.
it's
Chieftain
great.
said go
It's
Braves.
great if the Houston would win. The only thing I think about Atlanta is, and I seen this on the news. I don't watch the news very often, but on the news the other day, they were talking about the All-Star ball game that the governor or mayor, whoever it was, in Georgia said, Georgia said, you can't have it here. You got to stop it now. You can't have it. So it ruins all these small businesses that strive off of that. Well, it'd be a real slap in their face to have this big monster party if the Atlanta Braves did manage to pull it off and win. So that's the only thing that I thought, it'd be nice to see that happen to that moron. But hey, but we're for either one. We watched the game the other day, and she actually was rooting for Houston. And but I mean, it's I don't know. We don't really have a favorite here. Actually, we haven't been really watching sports too much at all anyway. We actually have cable here. Another thing they have cable here. They have internet, but we didn't try their cable internet. They don't want you to stream on it. Because it's like everybody else. They have like 5 gigs coming in, and when you stretch it out between 200 people, it don't go very far. So we don't even try that. I've never really found good internet at a campground.
So our friend Carrie's on. When I used to draw your
Carrie
blood.
Oh, I'm bleeding.
She's the one that asked if you had a mohawk now.
I'm getting stylish. I'm going back into my 20s.
Somebody wants to know what's in the background.
We're going to talk about him later. He's a friend of mine that came from Sturgis. He's going to make a special appearance later in the show, so hang around, and we're going to have a little chat with him about an incident that he had last year and what he thinks about that and why he didn't do anything like that this year. So we're going to find out a little bit later. He's back there being real still and quiet because I told him he can't be moving around because we don't want to distract from the show.
I don't know if you're tired of traveling yet.
Getting close. But as soon as I get home, I'm going to be like,
he'll be bored.
He'll be bored. So we got a lot of things to do yet. We're heading to Mexico next week, going across the Rio Grande. We're going the right way though. We're not going.
Oh, somebody asked what we're going to go through. Oh shoot, I just had it up and I don't remember what it said now. Lukeville.
Do you know where? Why Arizona?
Lukeville, Arizona is where we're going through.
Yeah. So what it does is it goes straight down to it, and that's her cousin's got a house down there. Wait till you see this house. I've only seen pictures of it. Looks like James Bond house. And
we'll see when we
get there. Probably get there and be like a shed. Something like we said Catmandu a few years ago.
So when road therapy's on, how are you guys doing?
Yeah. So we do have some different sad news that I wanted to do a video on it, and we really didn't have it. We actually have 2 bad news things that happened. If a lot of you don't know, if any of you have been to Myrtle Beach at the SB&B bar, one of the new owners that they had, that actually this guy's been there 11 years. He started out as a bar back, and then he became co-owner. Made some good money on tips.
Like 11 years, yeah. I don't know.
He got killed about 2 weeks ago on his motorcycle. And I think it was pretty bad because they said it took a couple days before he was identified. So other than that, I don't know anything more than.
And he was a younger guy. He had a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah. So we want to give out prayers to his family and condolences to them. Because things, it's like I always say, life is too short. We also had one of our subscribers passed away 2 weeks ago. He was buried the 29th of October. We met him in Lake of the Ozarks. What's his name?
Barry.
And he had a stroke. He actually took us out to the pig trail. If you actually watched the video, there was a trike in front of us, which is one of our subscribers, Barbara. And in front of her was Barry. And he led us all around. He was a great guy. Really sorry that he's gone. And to us, it's one of our family.
Yeah. So condolences to his family. We're sorry. He was a great guy. He was, I don't know. Yeah. It's just, you never know. That's what we say. Life's too short. Right.
And life's too short. Don't put off things that you could do today. Today could be our last day. And I've lost friends, family members, our parents are all gone. It's just
give us a thumbs up.
Life is short.
Yeah.
Don't work your life away. Money is not everything. You know, you can get by on a lot less. You don't have to buy all the fancy things in the world. Don't work till you're 75 years old. You know, I just talked to somebody yesterday, a lady we had in the hot tub here, and that's what she said. A guy worked his whole life away, saved his all money up, and 3 months after he retired, he died. And he had,
You just never know.
you know, and don't heck with the kids. To keep the money for yourself, spend it, have a good time. You know, that's what life's all about. So we just want to say something about those two guys, and we'll move on to happier things.
Yeah.
But
so keep all those families in your prayers because it's tough, you know. So and Carrie's laughing. She said, "There's Chuck."
All kinds of things are happening. One of the neat things here when we went down the street yesterday afternoon is there's a lot. Somebody said all these businesses down here close up. You know, they're full of crap. These businesses down here, what they all do is they open up their double doors. They put a wood counter up with some barrels underneath it, put a thing on the front of it, and they sell beer out of all their stores. I said, we've seen hundreds of cases of like Michelob Ultra and stuff. And we've seen them, you know, they got all these signs up. So I'm assuming it's open container here. But it's
we
going to
don't
be
know that
neat.
for sure.
We've been talking to some of the vendors. Well, she didn't. She had to stay in the truck because we parked at a 5-minute only loading spot for commercial vehicles. But it says Bob and Tam's on the back. How much commercial can you get? And so I went down there and was talking to those guys. And yes, the whole area here will be all blocked off, motorcycles only. And then the streets that run towards the bay and towards the Gulf are going to have the vendors on it for those 3 or 4 blocks. We have this new device that I bought that's going to show you all this stuff. But the stupid thing could not get it working tonight. I've been fiddling with it all afternoon, and I could get the camera to work, but I couldn't get my computer screen to show what it is.
Yeah.
And I think I can also do it through this app, but I thought I bought this thing. It would be really neat to do, and I got to figure it out. So I joined their Facebook group. So maybe tomorrow we'll figure it out. But you have to have a place. That's why we thought here, nobody's up here. And we thought we could spread all this equipment out. We could play with it, and we could get it going, show you guys some neat stuff. He was
trying really hard.
And we could set up different cameras because if we get into, which we're planning for next fall, planning on doing a veteran build bikes, more than one seat bikes that we want to give away to the veterans. And we got all of our vendors that are going to donate parts and do service and do work on it and all this kind of great stuff. And I'm going to do some stuff to them. And I wanted to have this device hooked up so I could put different cameras all up to where when I talked, I put my lapel mic on and we would push this little fancy button and it would switch cameras like, hey, I'm doing this now. And put the camera in and be looking this way,
wherever.
This way, and then one this way, and
different
one this
views.
way. And so I thought that'd be really neat, be like TV. And we wanted to step to that next level, but apparently tonight it wasn't written in the book. So here you are. So what we had to do is I had to call my buddy up here and he flew down here tonight and said, hey, I'll come in this evening at the end of your show and I'll chat with you about what happened to me in Sturgis last year. So he's being quiet. He said he'd be quiet. So he ain't moving around. He's pretty still back there. I think he's got something he's eating back there. If you look real hard, I think his mouth's moving.
So Roger, we met them in Arkansas. Were you guys the ones from St. Charles? They had the little guy on the back that was their hog mascot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's them or not.
Remember.
So I took a picture of it.
So there's a lot of neat stuff down here. Somebody else on one of the comments wrote that we should go to a boardwalk. What's it called? Kemah?
Yeah, it's Kemah.
And we went there last year. There's actually a video if you go way back.
It was 2 years ago.
When we came through here I think it was when we did the fall rally. When we came back.
We went to K River and then came down through. So that was 2 years ago.
So there's a video. Go way back to the beginning. And there's a video when we were in Houston. And I don't know what was on that video. It might be the only thing on it. Might be that park. You might Google that. I haven't seen it in a while and I haven't been looking for it. But we did do that. And, it was during.
It took him a long time to remember. I kept telling him, remember we went there, And he kept saying, nope, I don't remember.
How many
Nope,
places have
I don't
we been to
remember.
the last
Nope,
2 years?
I don't remember.
How many places have we been to the last 2.5 years? I kept thinking all day we were in Florida and we're in Texas now.
He kept saying that. Iced tea is all he drinks. He says he wants some of whatever you're drinking.
Trying to make it a better show. I want to be like that other guy on there that everybody says he's so funny. And he doesn't really ever say anything. So I thought, if we do this, maybe I won't really say anything tonight. You guys will say, man, that guy's really funny.
Oh, no, I know we saw you, Roger, at Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue, but there was a couple that we met and they were from St. Charles, Missouri, and they came down to Bikes Blues and Barbecue. So I didn't know if that was you, but obviously it was not.
So how many of you are coming to the Lonestar rally here at Galveston?
Well, Debbie and Steve's already down here. We know Randall's coming.
And Paul's here.
Paul's here. Adam will be here. Adam and Katie.
Yep, they'll be coming in here tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff's going on down here. They I think they got some good bands, not big name bands, but I think
Hairball's going to be here.
I think it was Hairball was going to be. I was going to show all this stuff on the computer, but apparently that ain't in the message tonight. So we'll have to just think about it.
He tried. He spent like 2 hours.
Everybody can get their computers out now and put it on the side of this camera here, and we could talk about it. I didn't bring our computers.
I thought he was going to, but he didn't. Sioux City, Iowa. Okay. Well, you're not the couple I thought of, but I'm sure we took a picture of you. You must be on our Facebook page.
And we've already met quite a few people down here already. Actually, right down the street from us, we got two trailers down, and somebody that wasn't even coming to the rally. Didn't even know there was a rally going on. They're going to stay here for the next 2 or 3 months, and they seen us drive by, and they're like, "Hey, you guys!" And then we were in the hot tub, and the guy goes, "Aren't you Bob? Don't you have the YouTube channel? I seen you last year in Courtside."
Yeah.
And we're like, "I don't remember him, but she did."
And there's somebody. They said there's a couple YouTubers here. Somebody called Texas Y'all, and then somebody else. They told me a couple names, and
So I don't know. I didn't see anybody. But we drove around the night with the golf cart, got her name on the front, and look around. And hopefully next year when we get out, we'll have the name on the back of the trailer. So hopefully that'll, you need to all think about that for us. We should do a regular video on that for a saying that I can have. Like I was going to have something written on the back of the trailer. You know, it's going to be our new logo, which is the Bob and Tam, which if you see, I don't know, our business card, or if you look at the back of the truck, you look at the back of the motorcycle and the golf cart, it's got this.
Well, sometimes when you do the,
so we're still going to have the circle for now, which you see here. That's still going to, we're going to modify that. We're going to have our son-in-law put me a motorcycle on there on the side of the trailer.
We're going
maybe
to ask him to.
Going to see where I can put a motorcycle at. I don't know if we'll get it on there. Maybe we'll take the trailer out and put a motorcycle on there instead.
Well, I thought on the road, we could have a motorcycle sitting across the road there, but I don't know how hard that will be to do. And he's the expert. He knows how to do that stuff.
He's a pro, and we're just the amateurs. So he fixed that up for us. Like everybody always says that, man, we really like your intro. It took him probably 10 minutes to make that for us.
Yeah, he's really good.
And he already had the footage for the drone shot. And that's from Santa Monica, for all those that always wonder where that is. That's the Santa Monica Pier, heading away from it, going up the PCH. So what else is going on? After we do Mexico, we'll be coming back on that Monday. And then we'll get, no, we're coming back on Sunday. We'll cross the border on Sunday. And then we figure, and then Monday we're leaving. Or did we say Monday? We're checking out on Monday, right?
Well, I gotta see what the dates are. I told her we'd come up there the 15th. Oh, okay, that's that day.
So she's looking that all up. So that's one.
So we'll leave Monday morning, get there, and then stay there the 15th, and then go, I guess, to California. Well, we might be able to go home a couple days.
So that's the plan. So we're going to come on Monday is when we get out of the campground and head back to probably going to go back to Arizona, back to the homestead, and look at the mail. I got some new shirts made up, and I won't be wearing them anywhere, but I got some new shirts made up. I ordered some off of if you look down here, if you're on YouTube, those across the bottom, it says you can buy shirts. And just those ones you see aren't the only ones we have. We have a whole bunch. I got ones that says, I got the new logo on it. It says Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventures with a little motorcycle on it. And then on the back, it's got, it's on the back. And then I got a couple hats. And what else did I buy? She got a couple shirts.
Yeah.
And
mine look like the baseball jerseys. Yeah. They got the stripes on the sleeves.
So we got all that.
I like that.
I got that with that 15% discount.
Well, I don't like anything with high neck. So that was the only thing they had like a V-neck on it.
So we got that going on. And then if all goes well, we haven't heard from my buddy Art.
Sherry said she did.
He should be home by now. But my buddy Art.
He's working nights.
Yeah, I guess he is working nights, I think. So we're going to try to take 3 or 4 days off during Thanksgiving weekend and go to up the coast of the one. And we'll film
an aluminum trailer. A magnet won't work.
No, we have
an aluminum truck too, and we bought magnets to put on the side of that for a special parade a couple years ago. And yeah, $35 a magnet to put on both sides. It's an aluminum truck. Didn't work.
Galvanized.
Whatever. It didn't stick. Yeah, but I know when we got our new refrigerator, my daughter had gotten a new refrigerator, and she had all the stuff on the side. And I said, why don't you put our grandson's stuff? I said, why don't you put it on the front? And she's like, it's not magnetized. So when we went to go get our refrigerator, I took a magnet and I kept sticking it. Nope, that won't work. Nope, that won't work. Okay, we can look at this one. It's got a magnet. But anyway, there's SJS. How you doing? Debbie Trimble. I was going to say something. She asked me a question. Oh, I know. You never know. One of his best friends passed away from cancer too, and we were talking about that. So
once again, life is very, very short,
Yep.
and live every day like today
Get
is
some
your
Gorilla
last
Glue.
day.
I'll never get it off then. I do like my Gorilla Glue though. I've got a bottle everywhere.
And we got another video to come out with. I don't know when we're gonna do it. We had 2 truck accidents all on the same day, and we'll talk about that another
I
day.
had nothing to do with it.
I'll have to show you the damage and talk about that. And
Who was driving?
Who's the co-pilot?
I was in the back seat. Amsoil Adam. It's his fault.
And so we'll talk about that in another video. Maybe after Galveston, we'll talk about that. Show you pictures or video of it and talk about what happened. We didn't have cameras on when it happened. Never think about that stuff till it's too late. And so
email me your address and I will
New
send you
Orleans
one.
is not a real good, safe place to ride a motorcycle.
We were in the truck.
I know, but I'm just saying the way people drive. Yeah, I thought Florida was bad. You get down around New Orleans, the people are not paying. I don't know what they're doing.
I want to know what's behind you.
You got a super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat.
Chuck. Oh, where's he at?
That's my buddy back there. He's our special guest star that's going to come up before the end of the show. He's from Sturgis. He's a friend that we met this year there. That he had an incident that happened in Sturgis last year, 2020.
He always does.
He's being real quiet. He's going to stay quiet. I told him he can't talk until we get ready to discuss his issue. So he said he won't move at all. And he's been doing it. If you watch him, he's been pretty still. So told him we give him some
Mike
candy.
says, everybody give us a thumbs up. You hit that little button. I'm going to do it this way. Right there. Right down there should be a thumb up. And you just click on that.
Yeah. Don't be a loser and put your thumb down.
No.
You always get 4 losers per
We
video.
got 65 on there, and I don't know how many.
That's better than normal. We're only doing about 40.
So
Not quite as exciting as Sturgis.
it wasn't me. They keep asking. They said I get blamed for everything. The worst state. Yeah, we had a couple subscribers. That's what they said. I don't know what happens, but once everybody crosses that Louisiana borders, they said they just go nuts.
And one guy that we actually went out to dinner with him, and he said, you can drive 500 miles following this guy through Texas or Florida, wherever you're coming from. And the moment he crosses the Louisiana border, the guy goes loco and all over the road, hitting things.
He said they're just ate up.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know. But
but
New Orleans wasn't as fun as we expected it to be. They were, we're
getting old.
One is you had to wear a mask in everywhere. Anywhere you went, you had to wear a mask inside. 2, if you could not go into any restaurants without a vaccination card or within 3 days,
72 hours COVID test.
Yeah. So we actually had we had a restaurant on Bourbon Street that said, come on in, we don't care. And so we did. We ate there. That's the one we did the video on. You watched the video.
Yeah, Teddy was our waiter.
And a great place. Teddy? And so the day we left, Monday, they dropped, I guess it was Sunday. Sunday we leave, Saturday. What day we leave? Friday. I don't know. Whatever day we left New Orleans was the day that the mayor dropped the mask mandate because she was up for a re-election. That's why.
Yeah.
I wonder if she got her butt voted out today.
So yeah, James, that's what he had said. He had lost his best friend that same day we met him at the Cajun Harley. He had open heart surgery and had a valve replaced, and he just never.
About that. Just one of our under friends is having that done.
Yeah.
Don't talk about who it is.
No, but prayers for him.
But in December, so hopefully he'll do all right. And but I mean, you don't know. It could be a simple surgery. It could be simple anything. Even people are dying from this virus. So you never know. You could die from the flu, the pneumonia, get hit by a car. You could get cancer. There's millions and millions of things.
Heart
that,
attack, stroke.
8,000 people die every day in the United States, and hopefully it's not any of us today. Our
No,
number didn't come up, but
Yep.
we'll start talking about some more stuff. What's going on? We're in Galveston. We're actually tonight. We are at the campground, which is Jamaica Me Happy. It's Jamaica Me RV Park.
I know. I used to drink Jamaica Me Happy
Seltzers.
Seagrams. They were Seagrams, and they were really good. That was my favorite drink for a while.
Until she got sick.
No, I didn't get sick. I made my stomach hurt. I just drank way too many. I never.
It was too
How
sweet.
often do I throw up?
Not very much anymore because she quit drinking.
You never do. I don't like to throw up. Anyway, and somebody said we should do cartoon characters of ourselves, and we do know a YouTuber that does do that. And if we asked him, he would probably do it.
Well, he was charging $25 now. He
Well.
used to do it for free, but
But anyway, we could do that. So I don't know. It's your time. You never know.
That's
It
right.
could be.
checking out and checking in.
Yep. It's like the Roach Motel. People check in, but they don't check out.
That's the hospitals where we're from.
That's what they say. So 75 people on. So give us a thumbs up.
So
if
we're in
you,
Galveston. And for those who just came up, vendors are setting up today. Down there along the bay side, which is, what'd you say, Harbor
Harborside.
side, which is away opposite of the Gulf. And a lot of the big trucks are there. Ciro's already down there.
J&M. What's the
what's the,
sound thing?
J&M Sound. Yeah, I think that's what it is. J&M Sound. They're down there across from Ciro. Ferry Exchange is there. Scully is down there. I seen. What's the guy that does the guy that does fairings?
Ben.
What's his called?
Wide
Wide
open
Open-
customs.
Yeah.
Not cycles.
Yeah, Wide Open Customs, because she always says that, and I just look it up. It's Wide Open Customs. He's there. Very limited supply. You got to remember, hey, if you're coming in for
This
this
is the
rally,
last rally
you
of the year.
need to get down right away and get whatever you're going to get done. Oh, we're having our headlights put in on Thursday.
At Riff Rack.
Yep. So we'll be down there bright and early, probably.
Oh, I wanted to do that tonight too.
Right.
I want to take a picture like on the trailer of what the headlights look like in the dark tonight. Or is it not tonight? It's going to be Thursday. Tonight or tomorrow night. Just, and then show the difference before and after of what the headlights look like.
Should have done it when we were in Panama City Beach, because driving back from the 13 miles back to the state park where we stayed there
it was
was
dark.
dark. Nothing.
Yeah.
And it was tough seeing the road and stuff like that. So that would have been a good example to see if these will work. So at that time, we will tell you which ones we went with. We didn't go with the most expensive, and we didn't go with the cheapest one. So that doesn't give you, it pretty much gives you an idea which ones we picked. And they're going to go ahead and install them. They're going to fix mine, and we'll tell you how to do this, how to fix it to where when you turn your high beams on, your passing lights stay on. And
That's stupid because that's
well,
what
they
he,
say
whenever he
it's against the law
puts
'cause it's
his.
too bright. Screw
Yeah,
that.
if you got to see in the
Yeah.
dark.
And you're supposed to turn your high beams off anyway when a car comes up to you. So, whatever. So we're gonna let them do it since they're already here, instead of me dragging them home and putting them on and all that. And they're not charging me nothing to put them on. So they're gonna put them all on for us. Do that little whatever. I don't know what you have to do for that. And he said it's not a big deal. So we'll see what it is, and we'll let you guys know if you're interested in doing that to your bike, what that is. And maybe we'll film the whole thing. Maybe I won't. We'll see how it goes. And it's been it's that freaking hard to put
We
headlights in.
fly by the seat of our pants.
It's not that hard to put.
And Gary and Pat should know that because we kept telling them we were coming to Beaumont. We're coming to Beaumont. We're coming to Beaumont. We were in Beaumont one day, but we did get to see them.
But it's like anything else. We have no idea. And what ended up happening was we wanted to go to well, what happened is some of our vendors, which we showed you, that went to Cajun, Harley Davidson. I don't know. It wasn't much of nothing. If 100 people showed up there, it was probably a miracle. There probably was more than that, but not much. And it was pretty sad. Dealership.
Well, it's a small dealership.
I think the
It was
dealership,
very
actually,
local.
they act like they're a big dealership. They're like the biggest, they sell the most motorcycles in Louisiana. So, okay. Well, they didn't do nothing. They didn't have a bike show. They didn't have a bikini bike wash. They didn't even have a ride. Why? I didn't even see their hog group there. I guess they got one, but I mean, why? They weren't even there. So, why they should have had a ride in the morning, go out, come back about noon, and then at least they would have had all those people there. I didn't see any of their hog members. And I seen a couple clubs there. That one club had a booth there, You might look through our video and see who it is. I didn't really pay attention to who they were. They had a booth there. They were doing something. I don't know what they were doing. It wasn't the Hells Angels. I don't know who it was.
But all the staff there at the Harley Davidson dealership was very nice.
Yeah. And supposedly the manager was going to sit down and talk to us, but he never did. And what happens with a lot of these small dealerships is they think they've got such a great following on their Facebook page and their YouTube page. And I always tell them the same thing. I didn't even know Cajun Harley Davidson had anything going on last weekend because I don't follow them on their Facebook page or their YouTube page. And I bet you everybody on here, maybe a couple people that actually are on here that go to Cajun Harley. Other than that, nobody probably ever been on their website. So that's the difference. Where if you like here, we're covering everything. You know, we're going to end up doing 15 motorcycle rallies this year. We're going to do 14, but we slid that Cajun one in there. That counts. We did 2 videos on it, and it was interesting. It was worth it. You know,
if we would have went to Angel City too, that would have been 16.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So
a lot.
And so we'll see how the Mexican one goes. No, I don't think there's going to be any vendors down there. I think it's going to be. I think they got a lot of rides set up and different things like that. And it looks like a lot of the money that they collect is all donated to the charities too. You can buy different things and stuff. You know, we're looking to more to stand on the outside and look in and see what's going on. And we'll see what happens. We also got to talk to the owner today, or the promoter that is running, what's that campground called?
Which one?
The one you called this morning. You wrote it down. The guy you talked to ends up, he's guy with full throttle.
Blowout.
Yeah, Blowout Campground up in Houston. They have some stuff going on. One of our subscribers recommended we should go check that out. We called the guy because we didn't really want to spend $20 each to get in. Because once again, we filmed a little bit of it and we're out the heck out the door. So she talked to him today, ended up being somebody we met at the Full Throttle last year, or this year, at the Full Throttle. He took care of all the games and stuff when we were there filming some of that stuff. And he's actually in one of the videos we sent him today.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's going to be some clubs there, and he just wanted to make sure we weren't going to film or, you know, film people that don't want to be filmed. And, you know, we don't ever really film anybody that don't want to be filmed. Other than that one stupid lady that's on the bench there in Sturgis that said, screw you. I should have done more. Should have you heard me when I told her, you're on a public sidewalk. You know, look up the lady sitting there in Sturgis across the street from the live cam there. It was during, right before the Clydesdales came in. And she was like, I don't want to be on here. I was talking to the people next to her. And she wasn't even in the camera frame at that point. And then when she got stupid is when I turned the camera over on them. And I was like, first I wasn't going to do it. And then she just kept going on and on. And I'm like, you know, you're on a public street. This is a public sidewalk. I have a right to film you in public. And that's the bad news about this stuff. You do. If people are on the street. Now, if you're in the Harley dealer or you're at this event, you have to get the people that are in that event to be in charge. Like here, this campground here, they could tell me you're not allowed to film here. You know how that goes when they tell me that. Well, we don't even ask. We pretty much just go to places and do it. The only time we ask people is when they want to charge. Like here, I don't want to pay $40 for me and her to go in there and spend an hour or two to film stuff, and that's it. What am I getting out of it? He's going to get a bunch of free publicity out of it. And if it's a good event, you guys are going to see some great stuff. If it sucks, you'll know, hey, don't waste your time going out because it's a 45-minute ride from here to go into Houston to go to the county fairgrounds. That's where it's at. And it looks like she's afraid it's going to be like the Rat Hole.
I don't know.
I hope not. I don't think there could be two places like that. Maybe, but I don't want to say anything bad about the Rat Hole in Myrtle Beach because in its day, it was the ultimate party place. It ain't no more.
Well, it wasn't when we were there. Anyway, so I want to know what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen at a rally? You'd have to think about that.
I mean,
webcams are everywhere. They are.
If you knew anything about us, I've seen way more crazy crap than I've ever seen at a rally at other events that we've been at. We'll leave it at that because you don't like me talking about stuff like that. But we've been to some crazy stuff, and we've seen some up in San Francisco at a party. The guy walking around, he was a blow up. Boing, boing, boing.
He had a Jack in the Box hat on.
No, that was a guy that was kind of doing the pumping it.
Anyway, move on. There's Dallas. Hi, Dallas.
So she changed the
No
subject.
Piggy Wigglies here. I have not
No.
seen. Kroger's, there's a lot of
Yeah.
Kroger stores.
Actually, this Kroger store here is like a Kroger store on crack. This thing has everything in it. Even I couldn't believe she didn't say something. They had a full olive bar.
I saw that. I wanted to go over there and
They
take
must
a
have had
couple.
50 different kinds of olives on them. They had a full salad bar with everything. It had the dressing in the bottles and stuff. Every kind of, they must have had 20 bottles of dressing there. You get all this different stuff. They had, I have never, and we've gone to some fancy stores like Deerberg's in California. They're kind
No,
of, they're kind of,
Deerberg's is in St. Louis.
what's the one in California, the big store? Not Albertsons.
Bonds.
No, what's that one that's always, we don't really go to it because it was kind
There's
of,
a Bristol's.
I don't know what it is. What's the one that was used to be next to Hobby Lobby? We only went there once or twice, so everyone in that store.
That wasn't Vons.
That was kind of, I don't think that's a Vons. No, the Vons is farther down. The Vons is down by Imperial Highway.
I don't
This is
know.
up by Weir Canyon.
HEB. Isn't that like a Kroger's?
We
Because
went
I
to-
think I got,
we went-
there's a Kroger's right next to it.
That's where they took us and we got the Hash Browns was an HEB, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It was a pretty neat store too.
Yep.
But the Kroger's here is, like I said,
Love olives.
if
Me
you're
too,
down
Dallas.
here-
Whoa.
if
he's
you're
got an
down
earthquake
here, go to the Kroger store here
on the seawall side.
and just go inside there and look around the store. Because we had to wait for my prescription to come up. We had to wait 30 minutes. So
And I called the day
she was
before.
yakking on the phone. So we walked around the store. I walked around. She followed me.
Yep.
And
I was on the phone with my
but
monkey number 2.
They had all kinds of stuff. And
What does that say? Phrase? F-R-O-Z. Froze? Are we frozen?
no, it's still moving there.
I don't know.
Unless Facebook's frozen.
It says F-R-A-Z-E. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sorry,
so,
Ray.
There's a lot of neat places down here to go. They got, a lot of neat restaurants along here. We actually ate at the,
Golden Corral.
Golden
Again,
Yeah.
Gary.
no, we actually ate there yesterday. Actually, it was really good. They brought out our fish that we liked. The
was
chicken
good.
was good. They had a lot of food too. That's the biggest Golden Corral I have ever ate at that had so much stuff. That's what she says. Like, we gotta quit going there. I'm getting there's too much to eat.
Well, no, I just get stuffed because there's so, and I only take a little spoonful
Yeah, a little
of
bit
everything.
of everything.
Well, I do because I want to taste it all, but yeah,
They even had, there was a,
but neither one had my fudge. My mom and dad used to make fudge, and they always have fudge on the dessert bar. And neither one of the last 2 places we ate
make
at.
up for the rest of the stuff that they had. They just had.
I didn't even eat ice cream at the last one.
because you were full.
I was very full.
So that was there. Today we ate Chick-fil-A today. And when after I had my haircut,
That was a
Chick-fil-A place
mess.
is right
No,
there.
before.
Oh yeah, I guess it was before. I had Chick-fil-A. And this one you couldn't eat inside. It was over on the other side of the water.
And there,
The
you had to
mainland.
go around and around.
Well, we pulled in and said drive through on the other side of the building. So we went around and there's 2 lanes there and says both lanes are open for drive through. I go around that side and we're on the outside of the rope again. So I went back around and we got in that lane. The little girl comes up and goes, "What's your name?" I said, "It's Bob." And I go, "I got something to tell you." I said, and she's like, "Yeah, it doesn't. People complain about that all the time." And I said, what you need to put on the sign is that arrow's pointing that way. You need to say that that's the thoroughfare to go out. She goes,
Not the drive-through.
she goes, "Well, that's a good idea. Let me tell the manager that." You think one of the manager had a half a freaking brain that they could put something on the sign and let people know? Because as we were sitting in line, another lady drove through there and she stops
She
and looks
stops
around.
and she backs up and goes forward and backs up and goes.
No, we didn't do
How do
that.
you get in there? We just drove around it twice.
We drove around once. So we came in the first time and then said drive-through was around the other way because we came in on the side of the restaurant. It was already in the middle of the drive-through. So when we went around the restaurant, that's when we
I'm
seen the
glad that
thing.
was-
And then we made a complete 180 around the building, I guess. So
Bring a large person Ziploc bags. His mom used to do that. There was a place called Hometown Buffet. I don't know if they had them all over the country or not, but she'd always go. She loved that was her favorite place, and she'd always have a few little Ziploc
I hear a
baggies
lot of old people.
in her purse, and she'd go up there and she'd sneak them in her purse and zip them up and take it home.
Yeah, we see a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I don't see them. We hear when we talk to people at the restaurants, they tell us that. I mean, there's a bunch of neat bars.
Somebody says your hair looks nice.
Somebody said that what's that place your cousin said that we should eat at? We haven't ate there yet, but we drive by it now. The Hole or
cousin.
something here. That's that restaurant.
Oh,
right
the
here.
spot.
The Spot. A lot of people say that's a
Hole.
really neat place to go. We'll have to stop. Today we stopped at what was the place you went to use the bathroom at?
Fish Tails. And we
Fish
ate there
Tails.
before. Last time we were
And,
here, we ate
yeah,
there.
right now they only got the upstairs open, and we just ate lunch, and they never did ask me to sit down, so I was like, well, screw it, we'll just leave. She used the bathroom, we left.
He went and I didn't, and I'm like, all right, now I gotta go. Anyway, use a special camera on your bike. The
DJI
DJI
Osmo Action, the 1. Don't get the new 2. Get the Action 1. You get them at Best Buy, had them for $149. They're discontinuing them, so get them when you can. I have 3 of them, and actually that's what we shot with all day today. Is we took them out. I'm tired of the stupid Osmo,
It's
the
the
stupid
GoPro.
GoPros. If you use it on a regular basis, and everybody says the exact same thing, the stupid thing locks up all the time. You got to pull the battery out, put the battery back in.
Well, Mexi Philly doesn't have a problem. I think what the problem is turning it on and off, on and off.
Well, he's got the 360 camera.
Oh, well, and I think he just turns his on and leaves it.
No, he's got a live cam. He's not using that little camera
I don't
for
know.
his thing. So he doesn't do like we do. We're constantly
I
turning
like the
cameras
banana
on
pudding.
and off constantly because I got to look at all this stuff. I got to edit all this, download all this stuff. So we get to where we shoot what I need and I turn it off. Shoot what we need, turn it off. And sometimes you turn it off and turn it right back on because
If we all go to Golden Corral.
and but it's gonna be expensive. Right now it was pretty cheap. We ate there the other day for under $40. No, under
20 bucks.
Under
It was
20 bucks.
$17.99.
Yep.
But now
Gotta go
the
before
trick
4.
is and the trick is they have little clear glasses, and then they have now the big plastic ones that you can take to go. If you get the clear ones, they're free. They don't charge you for
In
a
some
drink.
places.
Well, the last few we've been
Lake
at,
of the Ozarks charged for the glass.
I don't know. But anyway, that's a big savings because some places are now charging you $3 or $4
Some are
for a
fine.
drink. It's crazy. So somebody just wrote.
So the vendors are already here. A lot of them are. Most of them are going to show up tomorrow that are going to be on the seawall. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do all this because
We'll see you, Paul.
I don't know how people are going to get around the seawall that are traveling. I don't know if they're going to route them a different direction. I don't no idea how they do that down here. Because on one side of the highway, which is I guess it's the Gulf side, the vendors will all be there. So there'll only be one lane there to ride your motorcycle and park it there. So I wouldn't think they'd have traffic going on the other lanes, the other lane, because bikes would have to get across the road and it would be pretty dangerous. So I'm assuming they close all that down, but I don't know where they reroute them at. But I guess they can route them down the center because you still got to go about 6 to 8 blocks from the seawall back down to Harbor, which is only
Harbor's
2 or
fine.
3 blocks there wide of where all the other vendors are going to be. Now the vendors going up and down the streets are going to be more of your crappy vendors. Hopefully none of our vendors are going to be on the crappy side, but it's people that are selling the bracelets and people that are selling just a lot of miscellaneous stuff. Which we've seen, what's that leather place?
Hot Leathers.
Hot Leathers. Looks like they're going to be out here at one of the parks. I see their truck sitting out here. They may be out here on the main drag. I don't know, out on the seawall. I see their truck sitting out there. Also, there's like a park there by the seawall that's got a bunch of stuff in there, a bunch of vendors. Food truck was pulling in there tonight. We got something on video. Might get that up tomorrow morning. We'll have to see how it is. We're not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. We got to look at the weather and see when it's going to start raining. And trailer's supposed to get worse tomorrow. Worse than wax tomorrow.
Yes, and it needs it. Well, when we stayed in Beaumont.
Oh, Buffalo Chip was the worst. Buffalo Chip's where it got all dirty from all the dust and all that. And then in Beaumont, we had to park in the mud. We did some full wheeling. Truck doesn't look as bad as the trailer did, but all that mud comes from the back of the truck and flows up on the front of the
We need
trailer.
to get mud flaps. So anyway, why? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. So, no, I do not cook. I have 2 son-in-laws that are
She
very
cooks.
good cooks.
She cooks hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, a hamburger. She hasn't even been using her air fryer.
No, I haven't. I
What's that
almost
thing
got
called?
it's a foodie ninja.
Yeah. She used a lot of it last year or earlier this year. She used it. And,
Anyway.
but most of the time now,
We
she
could all go
don't.
to Golden Corral and have Thanksgiving dinner. But I'm going to have to renege this year because that's the only time I'm going to see my kids.
Yeah. So we're heading back. So we'll be in California. So after this, next week, we're going to be in Mexico. Not New Mexico, Rio Mexico. Going down to Rocky Point. Anybody wants to ride along? Got a passport? There's no vaccine required in or out, no test in and out. So who cares, right? So come on down and you'll find your own place to stay. We're staying with relatives. And
We'll be in Mexico.
so we'll be checking that all out, see what that is. I don't know if we'll be videotape editing anything while we're there. It may end up being that I'll do all that when we get back. We'll try to do a live during that time to let you know we haven't died. And we're probably going to turn off the visible phone, which is the one that the few of you that have our phone number and for texting and things like that, that phone will probably be turned off. So we're not going to pay $20 a text. So that'll probably be turned off, and we may just leave that in the trailer when we leave. And so our T-Mobile phones will work, but we can't use any hotspots or anything like that on any of the phones. And none of my internet that I bring works in Mexico. What?
I want to know if we've ever met any rock stars on our travels, We get to meet Big Engine. They're a big.
On this thing?
Yeah.
Well, not here. We've met Willie Nelson many years ago. We've she met Jay Leno. We've been with Jay Leno a dozen times. Who else do we know?
You saw Steven Spielberg up in Santa Monica.
Yeah, Shaq.
Oh, yeah, Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Who did the kids see when we went to Hard
Rock? Ice-T back then.
Was it Ice-T?
Yeah.
LL Cool J.
Yeah.
LL Cool J. He was at the.
I was thinking of somebody
Planet.
else. We met other people.
Oh, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore. Met her.
No, she's not a rock star either. Movie stars, I guess you'd say.
She was down. We seen her on the set of. We were on the set of The Wedding Singer, and met her. My youngest daughter is with us.
Yes, we've been to Colorado. We went through there coming home from Sturgis 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yeah, it was in 19 when we got the trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we went through there. So we stayed in Colorado Springs and we went up to, I can't remember it, someplace way up high in the mountains. And then we went down to Durango. So we were in all those places. We went
down to
Four Corners.
Ain't much there. Matter what they said. Everybody kept telling us to go to the Four Corners rally, Four Corners rally. Then we met some of the people. I don't know, one of the rallies we were at. Don't go to the Four Corners
We will
rally.
be safe.
So that's what's bad about small rallies, just like the one we just went to this last weekend. You know, small rallies are exactly what they are. Small rallies. It's local people, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we've been to some when we used to live in California. We went to our dealership when they had events and stuff like that, and it's fun. There's most of the people you know, but we don't know them, and there's just not enough. Nobody's interested. You know, we have a handful of you that watch all of our videos, and we definitely appreciate that. Wish you all did that, but not everybody does. And so when we go do these small rallies, that's what we get. You know, we get that 1,000 people or so watch those videos, and just like here, the camera kind of messed up on the second video. It was zoomed all the way in, and we couldn't see the screen or anything else. So it looks like we were right up here. You couldn't even see her head. I think she was like this. And so I was like, screw it. It's there. I'm just putting it in. And we didn't film very much of going on because there wasn't nothing going on. That mini bike, well, if you watch that video, that mini bike giveaway, she was the only one in the audience. That's pretty sad. And we spent $20 and didn't win it.
No, but anyway, it was for a good cause. So they want to know what our secret code word is going to be in case we get kidnapped. I don't know. I don't have one. But anyway, I want to tell you that somebody wrote on Facebook, if you ever get stranded out, like in the middle of nowhere and you don't know where you are or you need help before your phone dies, change your voicemail to tell people where you're at. Because then when your phone dies and people call your phone, it'll still go to your voicemail and it'll tell them where you're at and what's going on.
There you go.
So I thought that was a pretty cool little tidbit of information. Thank you, Brad Mounty.
So what ends up happening is she'll call her cousin before we cross the border. And then within an hour, it only takes 70 miles. You can do it in an hour down there, they said. Because there isn't, well, we're being told there's nothing between there and her house that's down there. And so once we get down there, they know the area. So they're probably going to tell us where we can go, where we're not. I don't know if they'll go with us in the evening or day. Probably won't go out much tonight. Probably just daytime stuff we'll do. Film some of it. If it's not real exciting, we'll probably just sit around with her cousin and talk to them. And their backyard's on the Sioux coaches. So be kind of interesting.
Walk along the.
Yeah. So, and they're in a private gated community and all that. They're uppity-do people.
That's what that James said. The Cajun didn't even advertise it, and their whole group was somewhere else. They must have been out on a ride or something.
And it sucks. And it was just really sad that, but as I
I
said,
thought
when we
so.
talked to the manager, oh, you know, we put it on Facebook and we put it on our YouTube channel. We get
You
that
know
all
who
the
did
time.
the same thing? Gator in Leesburg.
What? Oh,
He
yeah.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
The only thing he had going for him was Leesburg. Well, they said it was canceled. That's why I think he would have did a lot better. But he said, "Oh no, I put it. It's all over my social media." But you only got your group
A
of
lot of
people.
it, Panama City, most of these dealers are real big about that. They think that their social media is getting everybody. It's sometimes when I look at these people's social media, they got like 200 people subscribing to their YouTube channel. Yeah, there's a lot of people watching you, all right, dude.
So the
You know?
secret code word in Mexico is money.
Ew.
That's our secret. Help, help, help.
No, our secret word will be love jugs.
Oh, somebody wanted to know where Adam was at.
He's going to be at the 23rd Street
And
and
Seawall.
Seawall.
And so is
Rick Rack.
Oh yeah,
I
Rick
said right
Rack.
next door is Rick Rack.
So
Because we called the people we know we need to find them, and they told us where they're at. And some people like Cal from Chubby Cups, he's not coming. He used to be in the middle of town. Well, if you're coming down here, you really got to watch downtown because this is another one of those rallies. What's there to do here? Drink. And what else is there to do? Drink. So there's gonna be a lot of really drunk people down here. And I hear that is what happens. I hear some of the vendors were telling me people are out there peeing on the back of their tents and all kinds of crazy stuff. And
we need a speaker too.
Cal said that from Chubby Cups is he had to hire somebody to sit inside his tent at night because people would crawl underneath their tent and try to steal his stuff. So not saying it was bikers, it could have just been local people, or it could have just been some riffraff. Who knows who it was, but it doesn't matter. But that's the problem with downtown. And then a lot of the vendors say that's why they're out on the seawall, because there really isn't. There's some bars down there, but you got to cross the highway to get to it. But it's not like what's going to be downtown. Downtown is going to be, I believe it's going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. It's going to be like New Orleans. It's going to be like Sturgis, but 5 times bigger, because you got several streets there that people can park their bikes on it and cruise up and down it and all that. So it's going to look like a lot of people. Now it's going to be really hard. You know, they always say there's 300,000 people here. There ain't going to be 300,000 people down there on them streets. If there is, you ain't going to move nowhere. It's going to be like New Orleans. And yeah, you can't bring any firearms. You can't even bring a knife. They said even if you have a pocket knife, you could be questioned over that. Typically, what we're being told,
take everything out of your purse.
What we're typically being told is they know people are coming for the motorcycle rally. They normally will just flag you through both ways. So I don't know. We've been to Mexico. We've been there already during the pandemic here. We've already been across the border already. Back in November last year, we went across the border. No issues. Actually, going in to Mexico, wasn't even anybody at the door. We're like, hello, we're okay. I guess just keep on going. So we did.
Yep.
And coming out, the guy just said, "What do you got?" And we said nothing, which we did. We bought our drugs and stuff and prescriptions.
Keep your package. Yeah, drugs. No drugs. It was.
You got to remember that too. You got to bring all your prescriptions and bottles. You can't have them loose.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just telling you, you can't have them loose.
So I don't think we're going to take our real passports. We have those cards, and I think that's all you need to go.
For drive over, you can drive
just
over,
use that
walk
card.
over. You use the credit card thing that we have.
It looks like a driver's license.
Oh, I don't have mine on mine.
No.
Mine's in my other thing. I took it out.
Mine's not in mine either. Wrap things on. Ding.
So those are pretty neat to have. And
we wanted to know about insurance.
So what you do is there's actually a company.
That's why we're only taking the motorcycle.
Because you have to pay for insurance for everything you take across. So actually they recommend a company. I called it SANDO. And I think I'm just going to go with them. And I haven't even looked at it. My insurance company said they would sell me insurance too. But what you have to have, the 2 things you have to have is you have to have a printout of your insurance and your registration card to get back and forth across the border. If you forget one of those, your bike's going to stay on whatever side you forgot to bring it on. So that's the only things that we still have to get together. I was going to, once we decided we were going to go, then I was going to go ahead and get the insurance, because why pay for it if you're not there? Because you pay for it daily. And it could be a couple $100 a month.
Well, you have to pay for each vehicle you bring over too.
Yeah.
So if we would have taken the motorcycle, the golf cart, the trailer, and the truck, that would have been 4 things we would have had to get insurance on. So that's why.
And yes, and it's more likely to get robbed or something like that, But I mean, we have a guy that we know that married a girl from Mexico. She's not American, but
We don't have iPhones.
when he went down to meet her family down in Mexico City a couple years ago. And he said, so he's telling the story to us last year. And he said, what was really funny was some of the questions he asked. And I'm like, what did he ask you? He said, well, we sit on the couch and he goes, can I ask you something personal? And he's thinking, okay, what's he want to ask me? He goes, how do you make it in America? He says, everybody carries guns and they all shoot each other all the time. And he's like, what are you talking about? He says, I see it on the news here all the time. Somebody's getting shot every day. And he's like, well, see, what they're seeing is they're seeing Chicago, they're seeing LA, they're seeing Portland, they're seeing all these places where people are doing it at. Well, the same thing we see. We see the gang stuff that's going on. You probably live in an area that you probably have a bad area that you don't drive through at night or walk down the street at night, unless you live in it out in the country. But most towns have area, probably right here in Galveston, there's probably an area that's not safe for you to drive or park your motorcycle at night by itself. Probably won't be there in the morning. Probably won't be there an hour later. Be walking away. So that's what they say is we know friends that go into Mexico all the time by themselves with their RVs or motorhomes have never, ever, ever had trouble. Yes, somebody got shot last year, but they actually got shot here in Texas. And then the guy was taking the motorhome across the water, across into Mexico.
The border.
And he got caught there. So another thing I want to tell you, so if you're one of these stupid people that leave your FOM in the back of your tour pack, somebody lost their bike at one of the rallies on Myrtle Beach. Somebody stole their rally because the moron forgot to lock the fork. So what happens is these kids run around and they hit all the
start buttons.
Well, they don't do that. Hit the light button to see if lights or anything come on. Your first button you flip to get the ignition on. And as soon as it does that, they look to see if it, because that tells you the FOM's nearby. Then they look and see if it's locked. If it's not locked, boom, boom, they're gone. That's a moron. And hopefully you're not one of those morons. There's no reason to keep your FOM in your motorcycle. You're asking for trouble. Unless you got a good insurance and you're looking to get rid of your bike.
So somebody just wrote that the score was 0-0, and now somebody just said the Braves just scored 3.
There you go.
Dang it.
Well,
my cousin, I have a cousin that lives here in Galveston too, and she's an Astros fan, so she won't be happy about that.
No, she lives in Galveston and she's a Houston fan. You said she's a Astro fan. Oh, it is Astros. It is
Astros, yeah. Well, she's really a St. Louis Cardinals fan, but when the Astros are in the playoffs, then
that's kind of like when we were in
St.
Louis. We were always an Angels fan. We didn't really vote for the Dodgers, but Dodgers always choke at the ending. They did win once.
So they say, speak your words of wisdom, Dallas says.
Yeah.
We don't dial 911 in Texas. Nope, you just show them your mind.
It's like South Dakota. South Dakota's that way. If you ain't packing, lady sitting next to you, she's probably ready to go. So you don't need to be friends. Don't forget, we got our friend back there. He moved around a little bit.
92, yeah, somebody else asked about that. 92's on, so
he's
give us
our
the
friend
thumbs up.
from Sturgis. I met him this year, and
Right
when we
down
found
there.
out we had all this technical difficulty going on the day that I couldn't get my new gizmo that we bought a month ago.
Black Magic. That's
that
probably
is
why.
supposed to do all this neat stuff to where I can put a computer screen up. We can have different cameras going, all kinds of stuff. I got the camera working, and I got the mic working like I wanted, because I wanted to be where when I hit the computer, the mic would still work, and you'd be able to hear us on the main mic, not on the mic on the camera on the computer. Can't get the computer to show up. It's just a black screen. Well, then I tried the phone, and then what I wanted to show you was the whole freaking phone screen, everything. I don't want to show everything. I want to just show what's on it. It just didn't work right. So we joined the Facebook group, and hopefully, if not, my son-in-law, that's the smart guy with the internet and
the editor. He's the editor. He's also the chef, but my other son-in-law can cook pretty good too. They smoke stuff and cook stuff, and so for Thanksgiving, ever since my girls got married, I've never had to cook Thanksgiving dinner. So I guess I did cook a little bit last year.
The first turkey she cooked. It wasn't quite like the one that in Vacation where it hit it with a fork and it did, but hers just forgot to turn the oven on.
Well, then when the oven did come on, we found a dead mouse on the bottom of the oven too.
Shows you how often she cooks. That's 42 years ago.
And it hasn't improved much since then. Thank you. They're pink.
So,
Click the thumbs up button, Rat
Yeah,
Pink says.
so we do
Oh,
appreciate all
there's
that.
Kimberly.
Kimberly,
See, Kimberly Ann, your
Mhm.
daughter.
she agreeing with you can't cook?
She just said laugh out loud.
Mhm.
She can tell you some of the meals we had growing up.
They said do pigs in a blanket. That was her specialty.
The kids like that.
And pink ham,
Pink meat.
pink meat, which was actually ham.
They wouldn't eat it if I called it ham. They would only eat it if I called it
And
pink
hot
meat.
dogs, hot dogs and chicken nuggets. They weren't even big macaroni cheaters back then.
Yeah, they ate macaroni. They didn't eat chicken nuggets. They would get one McDonald's hamburger and they'd split it because neither one of them ate very much. Anyway, do you think the Naked Cowboy will return to Daytona? Yeah,
I don't know. He's a nice guy. We did a video with him. He actually wrote a song for us. He sang a song all about us on our video.
Yeah.
So go back and watch that in the spring and he'll show you that. He's a nice guy. It's the city screwed him and we should go down there and complain to Daytona. And
he wasn't there for Biketoberfest.
I don't know if he normally we never seen him the year before either in the fall.
Yeah.
He may only come to the
to
summer
the spring.
because there's a lot more people in the summer. We're not doing the fall rallies next year. We're going to come. We decided to come back to
Thank
Galveston,
you, Alice.
but we're not going to be coming to Myrtle Beach for the fall, Daytona
Thank you.
or Panama City or Leesburg. None of those rallies will we be doing next year in the fall. We will do the spring rallies, but not the fall rallies.
All right.
It's just
I gotta say hi, Hudson. That's my youngest grandson.
so we have to wait and see. We got a special guest star back
Look
here.
what's back there, Hudson.
We got a special guest star from Sturgis coming up.
That's our youngest grandbaby.
And so, yeah, we're way down here in Texas.
Oh, there's Devin Mike.
I can't do a Texan accent. Howdy there, partner. We're down here in Texas, down here in Galveston, right down here off the Gulf of Mexico.
Devin Mike. She's got 2 grandbabies too. And one on the way. How about that? There's Randall. He's going to come down early in the morning, he says. Oh, Friday. Friday's coming. He's when we met.
We're
at
down here
Cajun.
in Galveston.
He's
Well, he's been
got
pretty good.
a real good Cajun accent, Randall
Yeah.
does.
And
I
yeah, we try to
like to
Cajun
hear him
music.
talk.
Cajun music. Well, see, the Cajun music I like is like the Mardi Gras music, where they play the.
Real upbeat.
They call them. They start with a Z. I can't think what they call it. Those guys that's got the washboard. They got the. It's not really a washboard. It's just a piece of metal. It's a bunch of grits, and it might be a washboard. New Orleans style one. They play that and
Really upbeat.
yes.
Because he asked
And
about that.
Down here, they ended up. Somebody recommended, which was an all right restaurant to go to. A big old bus came in with seniors in it.
What do you
Yeah.
think you are?
Get your butt in there before they get in there so we can get the table.
Well, there's 30 of them. So yeah,
And
we
then all they
ordered
played
before.
was Cajun music that was like you could do a
Yes,
waltz
yes.
to it. And it was just like
He's got a cowboy hat at home, don't you? A Stetson? I bought you one a
we
long
sold that
time
in
ago.
the yard sale. I have the white one, or I have a hat somewhere, I think, at home. I think. You
It's the
have
salt in the air. Kind of worried
Yeah.
about the bike. I don't know. That's what I told
Get the
him.
cover
Since
on it.
we've been to Myrtle Beach, and then we went to Port Charlotte, and then we went to Daytona, we went to Panama City. Now we're out here in Galveston, and we were down in New Orleans. It's all been sandy and salty. We need to wash the bottom of the truck. It's
well, if you take it to
rust
that
out.
car wash we get home. They do that.
After months on end,
Well, it's not gonna make that much difference in just a
Randall
few
said
weeks.
he's laughing his butt off.
A few more weeks isn't gonna make any difference.
I don't know. Multitasking.
Yeah, but it hasn't been that rainy to where you're bringing that salt up underneath your vehicle. We really haven't. We had some rain in
New
Myrtle
Orleans.
Beach.
New
No, no,
Orleans. It rained. Pour down rain.
Yeah, but were we driving around?
No.
Well, it didn't matter then.
Anyway, it was water in the door. Remember when I had the back door and it was going,
Who are you telling that to?
whoever
Oh,
you
I thought maybe Adam was on there. I think you're
No.
talking to Adam and Katie or something. They're like, remember that?
No, I said, you were saying it didn't rain. I said, if water got in the door.
New Orleans.
we had
New
no-
Orleans, not a salty area. That's off the Gulf.
I know, but it was, it's a
Mississippi
park, whatever.
The Gulf's really muddy out here.
It's
You can see the water, it's out blue, out so far past-
EXOTICO music.
What?
It's EXOTICO music. Toto music.
Write that down. I'll look on it. I was trying to find some for my video, and I ended up having to write Mardi Gras down to get those 2 songs that I found, and they still really weren't the songs I wanted.
We have, well, I don't know if you'll be able to use it. We have
Probably
CDs at home with them.
Oh,
on
we
it.
should have been. Well, there was a band. Well, also I got that on video from last year, 2 years ago. Whenever we went to New Orleans the last time, that was last year. that they had those bands.
That
It's
we went in
the
there.
black guys.
Yeah.
Most of them are, I think they might have all been black guys, but they played that. You know, the band like I don't know. They're really neat. They spin the drums around. And they play that really upbeat music, and they were doing it last night. The other night we were down there, and I told Adam, on Saturday you need to film that. Well, he didn't film it, but I said you can film that, and it's not copyrighted music, so you could film it. And those guys are really good. And give them $5 or $10. It's worth it to have that song. I have to go back and look for it. I could have used that, but I don't have that hard drive probably, so it won't work. Is Kimberly Ann still on there?
I don't know. Kimberly Ann, are you still on?
So we're in Galveston. Now what's your problem?
Dallas says when he goes through Arkansas, he has to wash his car off to get the stupid off. That's not very nice, but it's funny.
That's the only place relatives marry each other.
No, St. Clair, Missouri.
Yeah.
That's not very nice either. Anyway, give us a thumbs up. I guess Kimberly's not on anymore. She doesn't say anything. So there's 75 on. Give us a big thumbs up if you're watching. I'm always on the wrong side. Right down there. There should be a little thumbs up. Click that button. Oh, that's it. ZYDECO music. ZY. I'm writing this down. ZYDECO. That's it.
And I've got some CDs from that years ago, but I don't know. It's probably copyrighted, and I probably couldn't use it.
Did we enjoy our dinner Sunday? Is that when we went to Randall's? Was that Sunday? Oh, that was Gary. This is Gary. Yes, we did. Are you the one that we went to Golden Corral with? I was so full. Oh my gosh. Yes, it was very good. Thank you. And we ate the bacon this morning. That was really yummy too. Thank you. Thank you. Have you ever been asked to join any biker gangs?
Clubs, they call them. They don't like to be called. I got in trouble one time for calling them gangs. No, never asked. Probably never. Well,
Hog group. That's about the closest we came.
I've got a friend. Well, not really a friend. It's through somebody else, but we knew him. That he became a Mongol. And bad thing with a lot of those clubs are you gotta
share your spouse,
your significant other, girlfriend, everything else it belongs to everybody else. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different clubs out there now. There's firemen. There's the ones that the Punishers, I think, and I think those are all police officers. There's a whole lot of clubs out there. And I didn't realize that there was an organization that you have to go through, a board, to approve if you want to have
like
a motorcycle club. And I'm like, holy crap.
You have to send them your patches and your rockers and
you can't, and some people get in trouble if you have this, somebody else has the same city on it and all this stuff. We met, which is really weird. Not really weird. We actually have quite a few motorcycle club members, actually higher up motorcycle club members that actually watch our channel, which I was very shocked. And they came up to me and they're talking to us and they're like, oh, well, because one guy was just talking to him. I said, oh, can we take a picture with you? He said, well, I'd rather really not have my picture taken. And then he went in this whole story. He knew so much stuff. This was in Sturgis. He knew so much stuff and so many people that I pretty much figured he wasn't giving us a line of crap. He did know what he was talking about. And I really I know nobody wanted to do that. You need to have some really good information about stuff like that and talk about it, because I know a lot of people want to know about it. And there's a lot of fake information out here. And there's people out here talking like they know what a club is. There's people that belong to a bait. And I don't know if I would call that really a motorcycle club. It's more of a thing that helps kids and stuff. It's more of a foundation. We have a friend that's on that too. He's one of the road cabinets for Baca.
Baca. I think it's Baca.
ABATA.
It's BACA. Baca.
I don't know. Whatever it is.
Bikers Against Abused Children. BABC.
And so, a lot of people, a couple of people on the internet here have been talking about that, saying, based on that, they're talking about motorcycle clubs. I don't know if yes, they did. They're pretty strict. Our friend that's in it, that he's one of the road captains. They drag him out every weekend, and he does something with the event, and it's a good cause that they do it for. But it'd be nice to know a little bit more information to give the average consumer, because I know a lot of people get in trouble with wearing different patches. Especially when they had
Hog Wild.
Hog Wild, that movie came out. A lot of people put that crap on the back of their coats and stuff, and they sold stuff that had that on there. And some of the motorcycle clubs get excited about that when they see it. A lot of times it's the prospects that cause a lot of the issue. We've learned that just from this year, talking to people, the club members, that it seems to be that the prospects seem to be the ones that usually end up causing most of the trouble. And most of the members that have been in it a long time, not saying they don't do something wrong, but they know more. Most time you don't want to bring attention to yourself. Why do you want to do something that's going to bring light to you, and then that brings it on the club and all that. And so that's about all we know. So we'll move on, because
That's what they were saying. It's Bikers Against Child Abuse, BACA, BACA.
yeah.
Wild Hogs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other one.
And so I don't know.
Dallas says if we come to Goat Spank, we can join the local Goat Spank club.
There you go. Get a patch it on a rocker.
And Rat Fink says
And,
that we can do the Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventures Pateen Club.
Yeah, we thought about that, but well, you can still make the patch, the big center one in the center, and as long as you don't put both rockers on, as long
They
as
can't say nothing.
they can't. It's only when you do it all
Just like-
is when what I'm being told, that's when they get excited about stuff. And it's like a lot of the veterans do that. And when somebody was talking about that the other day, that a veteran was in a bar and he had it all in there. It had Simplify and had whatever state he was from on it, and they were giving him a hard time, saying that wasn't, he had no right to wear that, and all this and this and this. Dude, he was in the service. He fought for his ass, and probably the guy that was giving him a hard time probably never
Fought
did
for our
shit.
rights.
And so that's a whole different thing. But I understand if you have a motorcycle club that you want to keep. But I mean, most of the time, too, they got the MC on there too that shows it's a motorcycle club. And like I say, I have nothing to do. I would love to go to this committee and actually talk to them and understand how the patches and all that stuff works. And I don't know where that's at. I'd have to talk to one of these guys and see where that's at. Maybe we can go talk to them. They give me out some free information. I know they won't go on camera, but it'd be neat to know it, to where I could come back and talk about it and explain. Because the idea is you want to keep people out of trouble. You don't want to mix with a motorcycle club and get them upset with you, or it's just like a gangbanger or anybody out there that's out there, it's out here in the world. You don't want to mess with a bunch of gangbangers where they're messing with you too. Not saying that motorcycle clubs are gangbangers. And
I don't know if there's any rallies in Key West in Florida.
no, it's too small. They don't have.
They have a big festival around
Well, they got
October.
They
Like
got
it's something fest. I can't think of the name of it. I want to say Fairy Fest, but that ain't it.
It's where they all dress up and everything. I can't think of it. I think it's twice a year they do that.
Oh, I thought they did it around
It's like a New Orleans, but they call it Fantasy Fest.
Fantasy Fest. That's it.
We've always wanted to go. Well, see, the problem we have like next year, we're looking to maybe stay in Florida a couple months next year before the rally, get there early. We got to make some phone calls and get that set up to where we have places to stay with our RV. And so without costing us a fortune. And we'd like to do the Key West, but the bad news is we're going to have Charlie Dog with us. He's the chocolate lad that was with us last year that you haven't seen. He's with the other daughter that wasn't on here tonight, and she's babysitting him, and she's tired of him. And so we're getting him back next year, or actually we're going to pick him up in 2 weeks. Pick him back up, and he'll be with us all next year again. And so we can't be gone all night now. Ratfink has volunteered that we can stay at his house a couple days, and he wants to show us St. Augustine's real well, which I really want to see.
Yeah.
And we want to do that
St.
before
Augustine's really
Daytona
cool.
next year. And he said he's okay with Charlie Dog staying at his house. And he has a little dog. He has a dog.
I think he's got a little Frenchie, a French poodle.
And then
or
he
not
said
poodle,
that
a
he's
French,
real good with dogs
bulldog.
too. And Charlie don't fight nobody. Charlie's a wimpy dog.
Yeah, Charlie is not a fighter. If a dog comes up to him and bites him, Charlie will just be like,
no
get
dog
away.
ever bit him.
Well, he's like, get away from me. Yeah. True. Bad
He
juju.
moves pretty fast for a big old dog. So, but he barks good. He keeps people out of the trailer. If you come beating on the door, you're this big old deep bark. You won't want to get in. But
As Chuck says, he joined an American Legion and Writers chapter, and he said he quit them because they wanted to act like 1%ers.
it's sad that the groups would want to be like that. I don't know.
Fantasy Fest.
We have a Moose Riders group, and
How was it?
we thought our Elks was going to have a motorcycle group, but they never got one going. But our Moose Riders group, see, a lot of these groups
They want to go like 5 miles down the road. Eat, and we're done.
I'm not into that. You know,
But the Canadians, when they come down, we have a bunch
Yeah.
of them that join our moose group, and they'll go like to
Oh, yeah.
Williams or
They go
down
to
to
Mexico,
Yuma.
Texas, and
Yeah.
they'll go for like a 3-day ride, a 4-day ride, they're going to be, hopefully they'll be coming back soon. But they have to quarantine
Plug it
14
in.
days if they come in America, United States, when they go back, no matter what, even with a negative test, they have to quarantine for 14 days. That sucks. So if you're retired, it's not a bad deal. But if you're somebody that's got to have a job and you're taking 2 weeks off to come down to America to hang out, then you got to go back and quarantine for 14 days. Stupid country.
Tell us what you really think.
Stupid. And then that's what I said. It's our son-in-law today sent us a thing saying that he's got to get the vaccine for his work. We've talked to people which I usually say we're not going to talk about this, but she works in an emergency room in St. Louis and she's a charge nurse. And when I talked to her over Labor Day, she was saying, I said, well, is it mostly the people that don't have the virus? Or didn't have the shot? Is that who's getting sick? She says, no, it's about 50-50. So why are you going to make me get a shot or require me to have a shot if it's not guaranteed that I'm not going to get it? Well, then you say, well, you won't get it so bad. Well, we know a whole lot of people, especially people, some of you here probably are the same way, that have gotten the virus and have been just fine. Now, of course, there is some people that have passed away, and people die from cancer, and people live from cancer. And some people get the flu and live, and some people die. Some people get pneumonia, and I've had pneumonia a couple times, and I've survived. But I know some people that's got pneumonia, and they died. I didn't know them personally. I know of
November 8th, they said when the Canadian border opens back up.
Oh, I thought it was already open.
I don't know. I guess they said that's the official date.
Okay.
Canadian border opens
And I mean,
November 8th.
The only thing I'm really worried about
is finding a place to stay.
Yes. If you're thinking about if you're Canadian and you're thinking about coming to Florida, Texas, any of the southern states, you better make sure before you come, you've got your reservations. Because last year when you weren't here, they were sold out. So they took all your spots. So unless you've got a deal set up with them, I would not come down that far unless you've already got plans and it's already taken care of. If you're looking to come down here and fly by the seat of your pants, you're going to be staying in a rest area someplace or on the side of the road, because for RVing, it's packed. That's why Texas is swamped now. I can't believe along Galveston here. I can't believe how many campgrounds they have. I've never seen so many camp trailers next to these fancy homes that are up on stilts. And they're probably $300,000-$400,000 homes that got a camper sitting next to it on a private lot. And so, yeah, it's crazy that everybody's coming to Texas now to try to get warm weather for the winter. So if you're Canadian, just a word of advice.
Sorry to hear that, Brett.
Make sure you have your reservation paid for the whole time you're going to be here. If you're going to be here for the 3 months, January, February, March, you got all 3 of those months paid for, and they'll guarantee you a spot.
Yeah. Well, so somebody said that they had a friend that got the shot, and 5 days later they passed away.
Yeah. And
so we say, never know.
Some of those stories.
Somebody else said, what's really in the shot, and then you're supposed to get it just because they say so.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem I have. I've had the flu shot before and stuff, and that's the problem that I have is nobody should have a right to tell you you got to get something done like that. That's why we're in America. If that's what we said when this all started, we're all going to die. Maybe it's be today, maybe it'll be tomorrow, maybe it'll be 100 years from now, wherever, we're all going to die sooner or later. And maybe, they always say, if you believe in God, that, some people say that your day is already written down in that book, that that's going to be. Well,
this
maybe
is in California,
what?
Where our son-in-law lives.
Yeah.
They said in Texas, it's a right to work state. Employees have.
And a lot of places, and Arizona's that way too. You can use religious beliefs, but see, in California, there's no excuse. And what they're doing is they haven't mandated them yet, but they're trying to pass it through their Senate in California that any company that employs more than 100 employees, it's mandated to do it. What the hell is the state going to do to you if you don't? I don't know. But the other thing was he'd have to get a test every week. Well, who's the test every week? They want to pay for the stupid machine to sit there and poke me. But what I want to say is if people are getting the virus that have had the shots, fully vaccinated, still getting sick, then they should be, if I don't want to get the shot and I got to be tested every week, they should all be tested every week too. Because if they could have the virus, even though I've had the shot, they could spread it to me and I could still get sick, right? That's what they're saying now. So the point is, I won't get it sick enough that I might not die. So that's the point that you got to look at is, and that's why I say I got nothing wrong with it. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I'm okay with that. And if it's like today, there's a lot of people in Florida here wearing masks. We have seen no place mandating masks, wearing them in and out of a building. Some places you go in, the staff's got masks on. Some places you go in, there's not a soul in there with a mask on, even the employees. And that's great. I'm okay with that. And if you want to get the shot, I'm okay with that. So it's America.
Yeah.
That's why everybody has a choice. That's why we live here. And that's why all of them want to come up with the border. They want free money too. But we're hoping when we come back, we're going to say we're refugees and we're being abused down in Mexico. Maybe they'll give us some free money. We want $450,000 because they kept one of my kids. I want that money. We could be doing a lot of YouTube. I could get those motorcycles and we could fly around. Put those 4 motorcycles in the United States. That's what I asked.
People that had the virus, why do they have to get the shot? That's what I was asking somebody today. So I don't know. Yeah.
So I don't know. But that's something
we all have the right.
We try not to talk about all this because it gets to be people get upset. See, it used to be in America when I was growing up as a kid back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. People talked about everything, and people could actually have a common talk with somebody.
Conversation.
And if I disagreed with you, you have a right to disagree. I agree to disagree with you. I used to be, when I was a union president, I had a company person used to say all the time, drove me crazy. And
let's agree to disagree.
Yeah. And just drove me nuts. But what happened was back in the early 80s, they told us 2 things to quit talking about. And that was about politics and religion. And that's the problem we have today. Because people can't talk about politics. People are just mad. I hate him. He did this. He did that. I hate him. He's not my president. He's not even the guy that's in there now. He's not. Yes, the guy that's in the president right now, he is our president. Like it or not, he, no matter how he got into office, he's still the president of the United States. And that's the way it is. And do I like the guy? Not really. But is he going to change the world on me? Not really. He's just nobody. He's just a figurehead, just like Trump was. Trump was just a figurehead. It's the Senate and your government that you have, your local government, your mayors, all of them are the ones that are screwing you if you don't like what's going on. And you need to step up and get your butts out there and vote. If you're in a state right now that there's something on the day, like Louisiana, you could vote that mayor out in New Orleans that's got all these crazy mandates going on. If you don't like that, get out there and vote. That's what's wrong with America. 30% of the people, all that votes. The rest whine and cry and complain about everything, but they don't do anything about it. Dude, how long does it take to go out and vote? We do it now. And we've always voted for presidents. We always vote. Since the day we've been 18 years old, we've always voted for a president. We are guilty that we never voted a lot for senators and local government because we had no idea who they were. And that's who's screwing us. And when I was growing up, my parents were Republican and they voted straight ticket all the time. So when I became a union guy, they talked about Democrats. Well, right now, Democrat and Republican, there really is no such thing anymore. It used to be the Democrats were for our working men, unions, all the good stuff that built this country. And Republicans were more interested in business, small business, big business, any kind of business. And that's kind of how the system worked. Well, now you got so many people talk about the Republicans have rhinos. Democrats have no freaking idea what they're doing either. You got some going so far, they want socialism, and you have somebody else over here that wants to do this, and somebody else over here wants $100 billion to spend for global warming. Did you see that Biden the other day caught sleeping? I guess when the news they must have seen it on the camera that they caught him. He was sitting there, and the guy came over and whispered, and he kind of jumped. And for the thing that he said, he was all for global warming, and he can't even stay awake during the conversation. That was just funny. Doesn't matter. Even if it was Trump that fell asleep, it would have just been funny no matter what. But it's just crazy.
Politics ruin everything.
It's just crazy what's going on. But yes, no matter who you are, you can make a difference by voting. No matter even if the elections were fixed. If 100% of the people went out and voted, they could never fix the election that much. You can't come up with millions and billions of votes.
So they're saying, let's talk about something else.
So we got our guest speaker coming up soon. What are we at now? How much time
hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, he's coming up real quick. Next 15 minutes, he's going to be coming up, and we're going to have a chat with our friend here in the back that came from Sturgis. He's been very patiently and he got an airline ticket. He came in on American. He got in before those pilots were flying this weekend. So we got him a good seat.
Yeah.
Actually, he paid for it. I didn't pay for it. I think the Parks Department might have did it for him. South Dakota, good place. So we're gonna have a little chat with him in a few minutes.
So who's winning the World Series?
Yep.
Were you guys
So
watching?
anybody
Is it
watching
still
that?
3-0?
So we're in Galveston. If you haven't figured it out yet, where's Galveston at? It's way down here in Texas. Oh, we went to today. We've seen some interesting towns. We were in Texas and they had a town called Fred. Wouldn't you like to live in Fred? Where do I live? I live in Fred. What? Fred.
He thought that was just the funniest thing. He talked
And
about that
then
for miles.
over here, we just drove through. I don't know if anybody lives there. It looks like it's all oil stuff, but it's called Texas City. Where do you live? I live in Texas City, Texas. What? Texas City, Texas. What? What was the name of the city? Texas City. It's like, who's on first and what's on second?
I don't know. Third base.
It's like, I don't know. So some of you may be too old for that. That's Abbott and Costello many years ago. That was a good, back when we used to watch TV. We were not when it was made, but used to watch black and white TV back in the 60s.
There you go.
We didn't have no internet or no YouTube.
Jello said that they're gonna watch. You're gonna come down. They're gonna have Adam Amsoil put on the love jugs.
Had a couple people coming down that's having love jugs. You need to let him know that if you got him from us, you need to let him know that you watch him because of us. And he don't give us nothing, but it's just nice that our vendors all know. See, we're going to be asking these vendors to help us with spikes. So that's why we want them to know. A lot of vendors know that. It's like Rick Rack. Sean from there. Shane is like, every time we walk in the door, he's like, oh, you guys. Can't do enough for you guys. And it's like he's bought us dinner a couple times and stuff, and he's like, you sure? And because he gets so much business from us, and I know I appreciate that you guys do listen to us, and I'm never going to steer you wrong. If there's something that we know, just like here, we're going to be doing some stuff on Zero come when we get home in January. We're going to be doing some Zero installs on my bike. And those are going to be interesting videos because we're going to install the stuff. We're going to take it out and drive it. I'm going to look at it and see how I like it and that. But then again, in 6 months or a year, we're going to do a review on the product again, how it's held up, what kind of problems I've had or no problems. Some people don't like Zero stuff, but they do have a lifetime warranty on their stuff. They're just like, what's the other lighting company?
Custom Dynamics.
Yeah, Custom Dynamics. They have a lifetime warranty too. But they say the difference between the two is Custom Dynamics. They're both made in China. Custom Dynamics actually owns the factory where it's built. So they got a little more say-so. Where I think Sarah, which we'll have to talk to her when we go there Wednesday or Thursday and talk to her, that they pay companies to make their stuff. So they're not, quality assurance may not be there. But that's not saying it is or it isn't. It's still made in China. No matter what you're doing, you're still getting the crap made in China. So, but what are you gonna do? They don't make nothing here in America hardly anymore. It's hard to find that American-made stuff. It's just 40 years ago, 50 years ago, everything was made here. Sad. Sad state of affairs.
It is.
That's what's wrong with this country.
Yep.
So we're in Galveston.
Somebody asked you about Arizona Bike Week. I think it was Bola, if we were going to go.
No. Arizona Bike Week, the guy that puts it on, him and his wife, excellent people. And if you go down to Cave Creek, that's a whole different thing. But I mean, you can go down to Cave Creek for one day and you've seen it all and done it all and you don't need to go back. But what's wrong with Arizona Bike Week is they charge to get into their vendor area. That ends up putting stupid vendors in there. People selling mattresses for houses. They don't even sell them for RVs. They sell all this stuff that, which you see it at some of the other rallies too. And that's what ruins rallies. Our Laughlin, Nevada rally, we talked to some vendors that, well, I did. She was in the truck.
We didn't tell them to go to that truck stop. They said they can't believe Adam's still talking to us. And you told them to go to that cesspool of a truck stop. No,
we told them there was another one right down the street. And if you look at his comment, I said, Adam, you should have went to the one right down the street from us because it looked like, when we drove past that one, he's like, oh, there's a truck stop. Oh, that one don't look so good. And I'm like, I don't know. Don't know anything about it. And so he goes, I got this other great truck stop we're going to stay at. It's real close to here. And because
I think they even paid premium.
Yeah, they paid $20 or $15 a night for a premium spot. A premium spot is they just reserve. You can reserve it so it doesn't book up. And they paid money for it.
Not necessarily. They said too expensive to build in America.
No, it's not.
I don't think so either.
And
Yes, Sunday, turn your clocks back. Is that,
yes, it's a Sunday.
all right? He says, I know, just kidding.
Uh,
About Adam's truck
yeah.
stop.
And, but see, we're not truck stop experts anyway. We've never stayed overnight at a truck stop. Truckers look down at RVers.
Because they
Because,
figure you're taking one of their
well, what
spots
they
up.
look at is we can stay anywhere. That's what they think, but you can't.
Hit the like button.
And they're
thumbs up.
limited to where they, well, the part, the truckers that drive me crazy more than anything else, which I got to ask Adam about this, is how they get away with parking like on all these ramps and coming out of the, like one of the rest areas we went through. I don't know which one it must have had 500 no parking signs, like every foot all the way up the ramp, both ways. And I'm like, holy crap, are they trying to get the point? And so we went to another one that had all those in that state, and there was like 5 trucks parked on them. And it's like, if I parked there with a no truck parking sign, they probably tow us away with us being in the back of the camper sleeping. But how do they get away with it? And a lot of times on the exit ramps, it says the same thing. No parking overnight. No parking. It doesn't say anything about overnight stay. It says no parking.
In
And how they
Florida, it
get-
was like that. On the freeway, there must have been a sign like every 2 feet. No
That's
parking,
what-
no
okay,
parking,
that's what
no.
it was.
Oh,
Because I said it. And then there was trucks parked there.
I don't know. I don't get it either.
So
People
they
can't
get-
read.
So, well, they get
I can
things
borrow
that
my glasses.
we don't get. So as an RVer, oh yeah, you can go to an RV park, but I can't afford to spend 65, 75 bucks for one freaking night. So we have a handful of places we stay. We're not big Walmarters. Walmart's getting away from it because too many people go to Walmart and they want to live in Walmart's parking lot, these homeless people. And that's what ruins it for everybody. Or you get the RV, or you get these people that never RV'd in their life. They got a big old giant motor home, whatever it is. They open all their slides. They put out their canopy. They put their lawn chairs out there in Walmart's parking lot.
Get the
They think-
barbecue grill
yeah,
out.
and they're like, what do you mean? I'm camping. No, it's not, dumbass. It's an overnight stay. You pull up, you sleep in your trailer, you get up in the morning, you drive away. You take your trash with you. You don't cause any problems. It's an overnight stay. Well, you
Get
look
there
at,
late at night, you leave first thing in
well,
the
the other
morning.
thing is you look at these truck stops. What a pig pen there are out there by the truck stops. I've never seen these truckers just must be throwing the trash right out the windows. I don't know what one the other day we went to. The wind was blowing. It was trash blowing all over. Because it was a parking lot we parked in, wasn't hardly no trucks there. I don't know where we were at when we made that turn.
Yeah.
We ended up not going inside. I went to the bathroom in the trailer. And all that trash was all cups and stuff, coffee cups, bags of trash, all laid on. And it's where the trucks were all parked, not in a parking lot. And I've seen that before in some of these truck stops. And it's like, people need to pick up, that's what's wrong in America. Pick up after yourself. Don't leave crap for somebody else.
Be respectful.
That's right. It's
So
America.
Greg has a question. He says, what's a fair out the door price for a new Harley Road King Classic? Anyone, please? Thank you.
What year? Is looking for a brand new one?
I guess a brand new one. So
If he's the one
anybody-
that somebody asked me today or yesterday, asked a question that they were wanting me to ask the question in Cajun Harley. Cajun Harley doesn't hardly have any motorcycles at all. What you have to do is look at the big dealers if you want to buy something, which I wrote on there to call John at Leesburg
in
Harley
Gators.
Davidson, Gator Harley. Call them. Second place I would call would be
Laidlaw.
well, that's one of them. Laidlaw in Los Angeles. And the last place I would call is Rapid City, Mother Road, Harley. Those are the 3 places I would call.
Black Hills Harley.
Yeah. Those are the 3 places I would call if I wanted to get, actually, the only one I would call right now, well, I call my Las Vegas one. But he was saying that he can't find anybody who will sell him a bike at manufacturer's price. And I don't know. We're not pricing bikes right now, so I don't know. I bought my bike that way, but I bought it in 2014. So, but see, a lot of these dealers are adding stuff on, and there is some shady dealers out here. But the problem is too right now is if you're getting a bike that's a hot seller, that's part of your problem.
You're gonna get hot top
Because
dollar.
it's
Hard to keep them in
in
stock.
demand. And it's like, it's
Supply
like
and
trucks.
demand.
It's like trucks right now. If you want to buy a pickup, if you want to buy a half ton, you can buy them all day long. But anything bigger than a half ton, you're going to pay more than what they have because they can't replace what you had. So if right now I couldn't get, I don't know if I'll have time or not. You have to write that down, what he's looking for.
Road King Classic. Road King.
You want a 2021? Or you want a 2022?
He just says a fair out the door price on a new Harley Road King Classic, probably either one. So Dave, the roadman, says that they have a electronic, wait, geez, where am I at? electronic logs. He's a truck driver.
Yeah.
So when their time runs out, they have to stop.
Which I don't understand that. One of my friends told me that.
And they
We
stop
know
up.
some people that are truck drivers and to where they have to stop wherever. But I mean, normally, well, what the one truck driver told me, well, it's somebody we know that drives for DOT. He's a truck inspector, or he's a truck trainer for the new guys coming in for DOT. And he says what it is when the time runs up, you've got to pull. You can pull into a truck stop, but your time off doesn't start till you shut the truck down or you parked in a place. So if it takes you 20 minutes to get off the highway, get into the truck stop, now you got to take your break, and then you got to add that time onto it. So that's what he told us it was. And that's Arizona, because it goes by, I guess it goes by the state you're from. It's like in California, you see Arizona, you don't have to take breaks. You have to take your lunch. I think whatever your time is. But in California, it's stricter. You got to take breaks after so many hours. It's really crazy because he moved from California to Arizona to be a truck driver because it was less restrictions on him. So each state has different restrictions.
Because like every so many hours, they have to take a 10-minute break.
And so that's what he said. You got to drive off the highway, take you 20 or 30 minutes to pull over. You couldn't, most of the time, I guess most of these truckers just don't want to pull off on the side of the road on the highway because then you got to get back out.
Yeah.
Too. Because a lot of these places, like for instance, DOT, you have an accident or so, you get terminated. And, when you're making $70,000 to $100,000 a year, you don't want to have an accident and lose that job.
So James we met him at Cajun Harley. He was the one that got some pinstriping done from Dan.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to know if he has to put any lacquer or clear coat or anything on it.
No.
We haven't on ours.
You don't have to.
Just be careful washing it the first few times.
Well, what you want to do is just like when I painted the back of the truck. I didn't wax it. I just took I didn't take it through a high pressure car wash. I wiped it down with the sponge with the soap on it, and I hosed it off with a hose. And that's how I did it. Now, since then, after 6 months or a year, it's been through the car wash and I haven't had any trouble with it coming off or anything. So that's, you're not going to have any, there's nothing you really have to do to your pinstriping. You just don't want to dump like gasoline on it if it's on your gas tank. You want to make sure that, once he goes, another good thing to do with your motorcycle, you just got it painted, park it out in the sun. And that sun will bake that paint solid. And probably because I think he says a week or two, don't wash it. And
I was afraid because I don't know if it was the
motorcycle. But he said somewhere it's rained the next day. And
that's what happened. I think the motorcycle, it rained the next day and I was freaking out and they're like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So all those you guys that are truck drivers, thank you, because I know these last year or so has not been easy on you guys.
I know it was good when they released all the things you could drive. Didn't matter how many. You didn't have to take any breaks or nothing. We've got some friends that are truck drivers, and we almost did that.
Steven says 19 to 23,000, and he's in Myrtle Beach. So I don't know where you're at. Oh, I guess I
for the motorcycle.
Yeah, I think his name was Chuck. No. Oh, Greg. So where do you live at, Greg, too? I guess that would help us know too.
Which it is. And it also depends on where you're at. Because if you go up north right now and buy a bike, after Christmas, you get up around Chicago. I'm not saying you want to go to Chicago, but I mean, you can go to Rapid City. They're not selling a lot of hot bikes during the winter time. So that's always a better time to walk into a dealership.
Always buy during downtime.
Yeah. Because there's not a big demand for people buying it. It's like buying a used bike. That's your best time to buy a used bike is in the wintertime, somewhere that got snow. Now, California and Florida, Texas, things like that, you can almost ride year round. I mean, a couple people we talked to today, when I answered comments, Sturgis was like 23 degrees this morning. And Alaska's cold. Well, of course, Alaska's cold. And so, there's a lot of really places right now that are cold.
To see Steven's bike too.
So it's pretty neat. And this weekend's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to get rain tomorrow night and Thursday off and on. But they're talking Friday, Saturday is going to be beautiful here. It's going to be cooler. It's going to be Saturday, Friday. Nice. I think it's going to be the high 60s, 70, low 70s on Saturday. But I mean, hey, if the sun's out, it's going to be a good time. Probably have to put our helmets on. Wear a little bit heavier jacket. But I mean, it'd be all right. And we're probably not going to do a lot of riding. We're probably going to hang out downtown
when you get here
in Galveston. We'll probably get up there to that campground. We're thinking maybe we might drive over there tomorrow to the state park or the fairgrounds in Houston and check that out. and see what that is, what it looks like, what's going on, and make our connections with that guy and his wife. And so that way, if we go back maybe Friday or Saturday and get the live highlight of what's going on there. So I think they have a lot of different, they do a lot of the biker stuff. I think the biker games and all that kind of stuff they do. So that'd be kind of neat. It's nice to show you guys a little different stuff that goes on. Because a lot of people say that, are all these rallies just the same? Actually, they are not. And
they all have their unique qualities.
Right. And it's just like the other day when we watched the miniature wrestling guys. You know, a lot of people said that was, we should have just played that whole video. I still got footage. I didn't put it all on there. I only put some highlights. And I had whatever it was, 2 hours worth of footage. I pretty much shot the whole darn thing, but the lighting would just sucked. And if it wasn't for me telling them to put a light bulb in there, then we would have been looking in the dark watching it.
Greg's in Allen, Texas, so. And Greg, another thing, if you belong to a credit union, get your financing before you go in. Tell them what you want to spend.
Well, tell them, if you're looking for what they're going to do already, they'll tell you. If you're looking, we only use credit unions from now on. Once the difference is when you belong to a credit union, you don't have to be. You can join our credit union just by a referral from us. Our credit unions in the home office of the one we have our house and trailer through is through Utah, and
America First.
Yep, and we can refer you, and I don't think we get anything for it. But
he's down here in Allen, Texas.
Yeah, but I think you can still.
Yeah,
they loan anywhere.
Yeah,
and we found them through when we bought our boat.
Yeah,
that the guy said, "Oh, this place is really good," and it was. They went really good. We have another credit union. They may be a little harder to do. They're out of California and Arizona. But I mean, there's lots of credit. If you were in the service, you can go to Navy credit. That's what our buddy, my buddy Art, he likes Navy credit. But any of these credit places, all they want is your $25 to sign you in. And the $25 is all it takes to open the account.
Yeah.
And what difference is they give you a lot better rates. But what happens when you go into these dealerships, they up the price of the interests because they make more money. So
financing.
So what you do is you call up right now. It's like I did. Since we paid off a bunch of stuff now, we're getting credit. I get the credit union called me up the other day and said, "Oh, we got you pre-approved for a new car. Go buy one. Oh, we'll give you up to $30,000 for anything you want to buy." So what they're basically saying, as long as the sticker price is 30 grand or less, they're going to pay they'll give me 100% financing on it. They're not going to require anything down. And so it works out to be a really good deal. And they usually the interest is better. The more you put down, of course, the better interest you get. But I mean, we just financed our house and paid what, 2 1/4 or something for the house.
Yeah, it was less than what it was to start with before.
Yeah, we had 3 1/4 before.
So that was nice.
We had to build a garage and got to get some money for the garage. And so credit unions is what we do. So if you go back and watch, we have a video that tells you how to buy an RV. If you watch that video, it's a 2-part series about a year ago that we put it out during the pandemic in January or February. We put it out that tells you all about. You can do the same thing with the RV. I tell you how you can get away with not paying all these stupid fees that they want to charge you. And I don't want to talk right now about it because some of my Harley dealers and Indian dealers would really get mad because that's all the fees they charge you: shipping, paperwork fees, all these fees, dealer prep fees, all these fees are 100% profit for them. So when you're negotiating, that's what you have to realize, that, hey, if they're going to charge you $3,000 for freight and it only costs them $600, then you know they're making money on it. They sell you the extended warranty. You can go to ESP yourself and buy that warranty all day long for half or less than what they're selling it for. The same Harley warranty, ESP. Go to the website. It's right there. So I got all kinds of good information we can give you.
Yeah, he's saying thank you, great information. Cool.
So that's what I always tell people. You've got to be a smart consumer when you go in. So what you do is the best thing to do is get you, if you don't have an eBay account, get you an eBay account. And what you do is go on to eBay and find that there's dealers selling brand new bikes on eBay. Mm-hmm. You go on there, and what you do is you can't go by what they're asking. What you do is you click the thing that says watch. And what it'll do is the day that it closes, you can see exactly what the last bid was. Then you know what the going price is. That's how you do it. Because you could be looking at a bike that the CVO trike that people are asking more money than its list for. Well, the problem is there was only a handful of them. It's kind of like when they came out with that electric glide, the new one, what do I call that?
Electric bike?
No, it was the Reeve.
Oh, the retro bikes.
Yeah, retro bike. Some of the dealers were selling it exactly what retail price was suggested, $30,000. Other ones were asking $40,000, $45,000, $50,000 for them. But we did see several dealers, that were selling it at $30,000, and they all got one bike. Now, some of them got more bikes because what happened was if some of the dealers didn't sell the bike after a while, like let's say I'm in hillbilly country down south, well, actually north, hillbilly country, and I'm down there at Piggly Wiggly selling at their, what's the town he's in?
Allen, Texas. Oh, no, Goats Bank.
Goats Bank. I got the Harley dealer there in Goats Bank, and I can't sell that bike. Well, dealer down here in Texas may say, hey, dude, up there in Goats Bank, Tennessee, I'll take that bike off your hands for what you got for it. Hey, yeah, go ahead, come and get her. Thank you, buddy. I can go buy one that I can sell. So that's the way it works.
World Series is 6-0.
Who's winning?
The Braves. Ay, 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 ay.
Looks like the game's gonna be over tonight.
Anyway, all the truck drivers too. There's always a few bad apples that spoil the whole bunch. So yes,
like
I'm
campers,
sure.
Motorcycle riders.
I'm sure you guys that watch us aren't trashy. We're not saying that, but the few that are.
Well, see,
puts a
what
bad
it is,
rap
the
on
trucking
everybody.
industry has all changed. It used to be a bunch of old guys drove trucks. And we looked into that a long time ago. We were going to be, when we were young whippersnappers, we were going to go work for Snyder Trucking. And we were going to do the buddy system to where we would drive all the time. She'd drive half the time, I'd drive the other time. We didn't do that. And so, because we couldn't find any decent jobs. And this is right after we got married. So this is like in 1980. And I got all the pamphlets from them, and we lived in St. Louis at that time. Got all the pamphlets and called them and talked to them a little bit about it. And they'd lease you a truck and fix you all up. And we thought, hey, we go on the road for a while. Back then, you'd make like $30,000 or $40,000, and it's like, hey, that bit, we'd be all right.
Rolling in the money.
And we ended up not doing it. But like I say, I have a lot of truckers friends that drive trucks, and but it's just like RV. The RV park that we're in, well, we're here right now. When their rules are, if you leave too many cigarette butts in the campground on your spot, it's $50 and up for them to come out and pick them up. You break the picnic table,
or damage it or deface it,
$400. So maybe that's what should be done at some of these like truck stops and more of these campgrounds. We've been in some dumps too. You go to a Walmart parking lot. Some of these Walmart parking lots looks like it's a third world
tornado
country.
went through it, yeah.
There's all this trash and all this stuff, and it's like somebody opens the door and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Pick it up, you dumbass. And so maybe that's what we need to do. We all need to step up and tell people. You see somebody do something stupid like that, you
tell
say,
them who they are. Tell
hey,
them
dumbass, pick that up.
And he would do that.
But I mean, it's sad that people trash things like that. So we'll get off the trash.
All right.
But we do like our truckers.
Yes, we do. We appreciate
a lot of
all
them
you.
flash the lights and let me over.
Yeah.
Some don't, but most of them do.
Yeah.
And we let them over, like we had one the other day, and I slowed down, let him get over. So because and as you got to realize those trucks can't stop real quick. That's what drives me really crazy, and that's why I wouldn't want to be a trucker now. Is some of these cars pull right out in front of a truck. They're doing 75 miles an hour on the highway. They pull out doing 10 miles an hour. That truck's got a lot of weight behind it. And if it doesn't stop all the way, you're going to be a bug on the rug on this road. There's going to be nothing left of you. It's going to run over you like it didn't even know you were there. And it's like, I don't know. People are that's why I wouldn't want to be a trucker now, especially in cities like LA and stuff, driving around downtown LA or Chicago. Hats off to you guys that can do that.
Make pistol whipping legal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like just common sense. People just don't think anymore.
It's just people have.
Remember the old 70s commercial on TV where the Indian was paddling his canoe down the river and he had a tear coming down his eye because all the trash was on the river banks? Maybe they need to put that commercial back on again.
No, it's the problem now is people don't respect things anymore, and it's everything. It's every fashion of life that's out here. You know, just like here, there's probably YouTubers out here that are doing, you know, that tell you crap. It's not true. They lie. They talk you into buying stuff. And then, you know, because they're being paid to do it. So they'll tell you anything just so you buy the crap that they're recommending. And that's kind of why we try to do our channel this way, to where nobody pays us. Nobody has given us, you know, we've gotten a few dinners. Some of these guys have given, like Rick Rack, they gave us some money. Said, hey, go buy us dinner. We had a guy the other day, here's $40. You guys do so much for me. He says, just go have a nice dinner tonight for you. I did. We spent $40. We spent that and on dinner. And so we get that once in a while. But and sometimes they give us a little bit of a break on the product that we're buying, but we're still paying for it. So we're not like we're getting everything for free. And there is YouTubers out here that are getting a lot of stuff for free. And which is funny. That's what I want to know. If any of you guys watch a YouTube channel that says it's a paid endorsement on their thing, or they've got a link that says it's paid, do they ever tell you they didn't like the product? Or did they come back a few months later and say, hey, you know, this didn't work out. This seat that I got for free, which they don't tell you it's for free, it sucks. My back hurts, you know, whatever the case may be. But that's the point that I always want to know, how many of these guys are selling out, and then you listen to them and think, you know, this is a great guy. He's got, you know, 50, 100 to 200,000 subscribers.
We listened to one when we first started and almost blew about
$20,000
yes.
for solar. Well, actually, it was 4 YouTubers that were telling us that you could run your air conditioner on an RV all night long on your batteries because you're solar. We finally met a guy that had a very small YouTube channel that was very good electrician, knew everything about solar. And he says, unless you got a semi-trailer behind you to haul your batteries in, it's got nothing to do with the solar. It's got to do with the storage that you've got in your batteries is what's going to go by. And when you're looking at $1,000 a pop for a battery, how many of them puppies you want to buy? That was buying 6 at $20,000. And we ended up deciding, you know, you can run that generator a lot for $20,000. And we do have a little bit of solar, but it came with the RV. We got 200 watts, 6-volt batteries, 2 of them. I'll probably have to replace those when we get home. They've been in there since we've had it now, almost 3 years. So we don't want those puppies to go bad because we had to run the heater the other night. Now, some of them are probably going, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. We've already had air furnace on for 2 months. We got a little chilly. Air's on today.
Yeah, I'm
he didn't come on at all last
night. No, it didn't.
The air ran all night, off and on. We didn't leave it running all night. So, how many people we still got?
98.
Holy Jennifer Jupiter's Batman.
2 hours.
That's holy. I can't really believe that.
Yep.
We're almost going to have our special guest referee. He's not refereeing. Our special guest to talk to us. I'm too much watching wrestling. WWE. They talk about special guest referee. Hey, we got the special can't talk. Got the special guest referee coming in tonight. And he is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That the midget wrestling or the micro wrestling, it was pretty good.
They did a lot of stuff.
And the referee was Pee Wee.
Well, they did a lot of stuff. Like the one guy that he did like the Rob Van Dam thing.
And the other guy, even I don't know what his name was. He did the 619. I don't know. You can tell how much we watch wrestling.
And so it was, if you ever see the micro wrestling, take the time to see it. If you go to Daytona, they're down there. I'm going to have to get a hold of those guys.
Yeah.
I thought they might have seen my video because they yelled at us a couple times. When we did,
yeah.
And if you watch the video, I only put one of them on because it got to be too long a video and I didn't know if that would bore you guys to death. So I didn't put everything on there. Yeah. But we got a lot of neat things to do still. We still got we did 40 years with Rod from the Buffalo Chip to talk about that. So we got a video that's going to come out like in 4 different parts. That'll come out when we come back home. We got a couple campground reviews that we're going to talk about down in Florida, and we'll do this one here.
Hi, Mark.
What else we got that we filmed that we haven't shown lately? I got a bunch of stuff that it's on the hard drive that I've never done a video on. Oh, Branson had a bunch of military stuff.
That was really
pretty
cool.
neat. So we got that. We filmed.
Mark Borgadine's on.
Yep. So that was pretty neat. So, okay, we're going to go talk to our guest.
If go ahead, knock yourself out. This whole room up here is creepy. Show them all the stuff before you go over there. There's a knight in shining armor over there. And then there's these creepy old chairs. There's one there and one
They probably can't hear you talking.
And then the thing behind us.
He's my guest. If you see, he's a male. That's the stand. All right. So here's our buddy here. We're going to talk to him. We got to kind of close. You won't be able to see his mouth move. All right. So we want to introduce you to this guy. This guy here is from Sturgis. He's actually from the Black Hills. He's actually from Custer's State Park. Here, I'm going to pull a chair up so we can talk better with you. So what we're going to talk about tonight is he's actually the one that took those pants off of that woman in 2020. Can you hardly believe it? Tell them about it.
Well, I'm that person that came, that woman. She tried to grab my baby. And I said, honey, I'm going to get you good. And she said, I just was going to just give her a little push, but her pants were so tight, that belt, my horn hooked on that. And I said, honey, get off my horn. Get off my horn. And I just whipped my head around. Next thing you know, her britches came off.
Man, I bet you that was a real shocker.
Yeah, it was.
Damn. I bet you that was quite a thing. So did you have any trouble this year with that?
No, I didn't have any trouble this year. I think they learned. I looked for that old gal again, but she wasn't around this year.
So hopefully they learned a good lesson. We want to appreciate that you came all the way from South Dakota, from Custer State Park tonight to fill in, since we had some technical difficulties, to fill in for us tonight and give our people the real story about that lady that lost her pants. Thank you.
Are you done now?
Yeah, we're all done.
Oh, my goodness. What do you think about that? Now you're way too far away. I can never get that now.
All right. Phew. He said, I thought he'd leave, but he says he's going to wait a few minutes till the show's over before he walks out. He thought he might shake the room. We're on the third floor. Third floor. I'm going to drink.
Well, that means it's time to go.
Yeah.
Said Bob's losing it. And I said, yes, he is. Can be a live guest. Yes, you can, Dallas. We can get you, once he gets his little fancy thing all fixed up here, we can have you on as
We
a
can still do
special
that
guest.
now. But
Oh.
I wanted to do it. No, you're going to mess up again. Uh,
Good night, Jeff.
We can do that now, but on the phone, it's so small that it's hard to bring in. We can bring 6 people in because we're paying extra money now
Yeah.
for this. That gives us our little logo up here. And we don't have their little advertising. If you see anybody that's got StreamYard,
They're not paying for it.
they're cheap. They want to spend money. And then they're limited how many times you can do in a month. You can only do so much for free. So we pay the $20. Actually, there's higher prices than that. I just pay the basic $20 and we'll see how that all works. But hopefully we'll get that all going and then we can bring you guys in. We can bring you guys in, but you got to have, what you have to have is 2 things. One, you need either, best to have a computer, laptop or something that you can sit in front of you, make sure the microphone's working, the camera works, but you have to get a headphones because what happens is this is delayed. So you'll hear us talking live, but you won't see, like here, if I wave my hand now.
It takes a minute.
Yeah, there it is. So that's how long it takes
The
for the
delay.
reaction. Yeah, the idea is in case we get the trolls in, you guys that are monitors or moderators can go in there and click them out before they, because if you're a moderator, you're seeing it, you should be seeing it live too. And so there's a delay all the time on seeing it. And if you're way up there in Alaska, like Neil is, he's
You won't
sometimes
get on for days.
sometimes he's delayed 3 days before he can see us live. But sometimes he comes on right away. So
Yeah.
it just,
I haven't seen him tonight, so I don't know.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know if he's still hunting or not. I don't know if he got his moose or not.
Paula said it's getting really close to deer season.
Yep, they're already shooting. Where were we at the other day? Oh, then Louisiana had started already. That's why they said a lot of people probably didn't come out for the occasion because deer season started. And it's possible because a lot of those guys that hunt ride motorcycles too.
Tala says they have technology in Tennessee. Just let them
Holy
know.
Jennifer Jupiters. So you can get you on,
saying
and
tired.
then but all you gotta do is you gotta have a headphones where you have your ears.
Earbuds.
Yeah, you
or
don't need a
heads-
microphone, but you need that so that way you don't hear. Because if you hear your phone, it's going to be delayed, and if it goes over the microphone and it sounds like an echoing.
I can't stand that. You know, when you call somebody and then when you're talking to them and then it says, and when you're talking to them and it's like, I can't, I have to call you back or you call me because we got a bad connection.
All right, so let's end it up. So we're in Galveston, had a great time, had a special guest. I hope you all enjoyed having him out here tonight because he came a long way. Custer, that's probably like, I don't know, 2,300 miles. I don't know, pretty far, I bet. And came all that way. At least he didn't have to walk. I mean, he might have to walk on the way back because American Airlines is all screwed up.
He's got wings. Let him fly.
I don't know. We put them on there for show.
Mhm.
Show him that he was a good guy.
In a creepy room.
Gotta have somebody.
Different up here. I don't know.
All right, to wrap up the show.
So, thanks for coming along today.
Hey! If you want to see live, we're going to try to be at the Zero tent at 11 in the afternoon on Saturday till maybe 1. And we're going to talk to her. She'll probably say okay. Yeah, in the afternoon. Be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we'll probably do a live during that time too, maybe an hour or so. And maybe we can get a camera. We'll flip it around so you guys can see both sides. And I don't know, we'll have to go downtown tomorrow and see what the internet is down there. Maybe we can bring the laptop down there. I can bring the cheap one. And we could do the live with the computer and be a little bigger at least. Easier for us to see. And, so now you can do your thing.
All righty. So thanks for all of you for coming around Saturday. Paula says she gets to go hunt her deer. So thanks for coming along. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight. It was a little different. And if any of you are coming down, be careful coming down. We'll see you when you get here. Like Bob said, we'll do a live. We'll be at the Zero over on Harbor Side on Saturday from 11 to 1. So come out and see us there. And we'll see where else we can maybe meet up with some of you guys at. But that's our meeting place for right now. Thanks for coming along. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. And we'll see you guys on the next video.
So Thursday morning, if you're down here, first thing in the morning between 8 and 9 o'clock, we're probably going to be at the Rick Rack getting the headlights put in. So if you want to see that, you can definitely check out there. Thursday morning, first thing in the morning, probably 8 or 9. We'll be down there. Even if it's pouring down rain, I'll put the rain gear on. We're heading down there. I want to get it done before it all gets crowded. So Thursday morning, that's where we'll be and doing that. And if you're down here already, let us know. Email us or text us or whatever you got. Got our phone number, you can text us. If you don't have our phone number, you have to get it because we only give it, can't give it to everybody.
Well, do you want me to put it up there or not?
No, you get really busy if everybody had it. Can't get it to everybody.
All right.
We're gonna eventually
email us.
We're gonna eventually put it on our business card, but you can't call, you gotta text. We're getting a lot of texts now just from the handful of people we've given the number to. So a lot of times if we have somebody that comes and emails us and says, hey, we want to meet up with you, usually that's when we give the text out. And we tell people don't call, text us.
But this is the phone that we do the lives on. So to keep it charged, we usually have it turned off. So that's why we say text instead of call. That way, when we check it, we can check the text and get back to you.
Don't have time to listen to voicemails. All right. We will see you later. And we got a whole exciting week of stuff. And if you don't know anything about Galveston, we hear that this is the wildest, craziest rally of them all.
They said this is the biggest thing they have here in Galveston out of all their events all year long.
I bet you it is. And being that they didn't have it last year because of the virus, they canceled it totally. They say they're expecting record-breaking crowds. They always say that at every rally, but we'll see. We'll see if it's a fun time. We can't compare the crowd, but I mean, if it's down there on Friday night or Saturday night and that street's packed, all the streets are packed, then yes, definitely a record-breaking crowd. Right now, we already see a handful of motorcycles riding around, quite a few, more than we see, not like Sturgis. About the same as Daytona and Panama City before the rally started, about the same amount of bikes right now. But here there's a lot of people riding right downtown where all the vendors are going to be. I guess they're looking to see what's going on. Nothing's going on yet. They're just getting their stuff put together.
Glenn Campbell.
Glenn Campbell. My name's Glenn Campbell. I can't do Glenn Campbell.
Rhinestone Cowboy.
Bye.
Bye.